This is going to be a tough point. The Cubs with the series. Bryant makes the play. It's over. Tying run at second, 2 out. Palmeiro over the head of Jenks. Uribe charges, throws, out! And the White Sox have won the World Series. Looking, finds Rose. Rose trying to get open, fires away. Bang! It's over! The Bulls win at the buzzer! Looking downfield, watching downfield,
Welcome to a brand new episode of Windy City Weekly, and it is a packed house in here for the first podcast of 2026. Of course, me, Jalen Ferguson, and my co-host Grant Godwin, and y'all might as well introduce yourselves.
All right, I'm Hunter.
I'm Gage.
I'm Zach.
I'm kind of lost. I just kind of came in here. I'm Chase.
I don't know if y'all remember, but Chase was in the last podcast we did, and Zach. But yeah, it's a brand new episode. But how y'all feeling today?
Great.
Cold.
I know it is very cold today.
I hopefully don't get that snowstorm.
Yeah.
Please, no.
Ooh, I hear a lot of people are going home.
Yeah.
What? None of
So
y'all going home?
Terrible decision.
Screw that.
Yeah, a lot of people are going home. I'm not, but you know. But before we kick it off, I just want to say, it's so good to be an IU fan. It's just really good to be an IU fan right now.
Yeah.
But no, everyone's laughing because this dude is a Notre Dame fan.
You.
And yeah, this dude needs to get out.
Is that true?
Yeah, I'm a
Yes.
Notre Dame fan.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
No.
Yeah.
You can blame the people back home, Chase. Blame Cole Raymond, blame Brady, blame all those guys. They made me Notre Dame fans.
Yeah, imagine living in darkness. That's just unfortunate.
But man, I mean, this might just be the best college football team in history.
Oh, I wouldn't go that far.
Yeah,
Okay,
nope.
when was the last time?
2019 LSU.
I was
Yeah.
just
Okay,
about to say that.
that's debatable.
I was just
That's
about to
Justin
say
not
that.
really
Jefferson.
debatable.
That's debatable.
Joe Burrow was America's underdog.
That's debatable
Joe
though.
Burrow.
Who was
Clyde
the-
Edwards-Helaire
Who was the last team to go 16-0?
by BYU. In like,
I thought it was
1800s.
Yale.
It was like, I think it was one
Didn't
of them.
LSU go undefeated when they won the Natty?
They did, but not 16.
They didn't go 16-0.
Not 16.
What about the-
16-0 record.
Everybody talks about this team, the 2001 Miami Hurricanes.
Good team?
Yeah, but I don't think. But didn't they go like 15-0?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was
But,
like they had
They
like
have
a
16th game.
No. Yeah.
It was like they only like back then it was like 15-0. Now
Yeah.
it's like 16-0.
I
that,
mean,
that team was loaded.
I mean, the last time a
Yeah,
team went
I know.
16-0 was Yale back in 1874.
I mean,
Nobody remembers that.
I mean,
I-
in my
I-
opinion, I think it's LSU that is the greatest
I can
team.
confirm that team was not as good
college
as the
football.
modern IU.
Yeah,
I'm
if
just
y'all
saying.
don't know, Chase is a time traveler, so he went to go watch these games.
I'm a vampire. I've been around for 500 years.
But no, it's just really good to be an IU fan. I wish I was at Bloomington. You know, but y'all don't know, since we are Ball State students,
Yeah.
I originally wanted to go to IU. I didn't get accepted.
Have you ever been to Bloomington before?
I've been to Bloomington.
Oh, you haven't seen it. It's a party school down there.
I know it is.
Oh, yeah. Way
Like-
more than here.
Like, I was
Way
seeing the
more.
videos, like, people cheering down Kirkwood, because I've been down there. It's like, man, I wish I was there, you know. And, like, Alumni Hall, you know, some Ball State students were actually at Alumni Hall.
Wow.
Yeah, I wish I was there, though. But, you know, just to watch my team win, you know, Grant is still hating since he's a Notre Dame fan and decided not to take that bowl game.
nope.
Like, what was that?
Honestly, I don't have anything to say about it. I mean, Notre Dame really just didn't deserve to make the playoffs. We didn't beat Texas A&M. We didn't beat Miami. If we had beat those teams, we'd be in the college football playoffs. I can't blame the committee at all for not putting us in the college football playoffs. It's just that plain and simple.
And now you have an even easier schedule next year. Like
Yeah.
you only play, I think you play 4 or 5 8-loss teams.
Yeah.
And
Which is bad.
everyone's eyes will be on them, so it's going to make them, like, their wins mean even less.
Yeah. Well,
Because like they just chickened out, and they're
Mhm.
like, "We're not gonna do your bowl games if you don't put us in the playoffs." Like, okay, and then they give you the worst schedule in the league. Like,
Yep.
I mean, all you
Yeah.
got to do is just be a part of a conference. That's
Exactly.
all you got to do.
exactly. Or if not be a part of a conference, do the bare minimum and accept that you didn't make the playoffs. You make it relatively often.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like they probably make it to the playoffs, or they did make it to the 14 playoffs like
Almost every year.
like
Right.
4 times every decade, like
Yeah, at
5
least.
times every decade. Like, and now with a 12 team, like they're even more likely to do that if they
Mm-hmm.
build up their roster more. I don't know. I don't understand their logic on that,
Neither do
other
I.
than being petty.
Yeah, that's all it is. It's just being petty. Just the whole mindset there. I think it's a loser mentality.
Yes.
Just to be plain. Like I get it. You're disappointed with the year. That's not the result you want. But you still have to go out, play the bowl game. Every other team does it. Like I think it's going to start a precedent of people not playing their bowl games, and I don't think that's good for college sports.
No,
Yeah.
it's not. But then when they get rewarded with a bad schedule the next year, and teams start showing up less, or fans start showing up less for their team, I think you're going to start seeing that course correct. I don't think that's the death of bowl games, as everyone talking about. Like that's not.
I mean, Notre
I
Dame's
don't
going to
think so.
have the schedule that y'all accused IU of having this year.
That's true.
Okay, IU played some tough teams. They played Ohio State
They
And
played
Oregon.
Oregon.
and
Oregon
Oregon.
twice.
Yes,
They
they
played
did.
Oregon twice.
And Alabama. I still
Oh,
think
yeah.
Alabama's a good team. Not a great team, but
Yeah,
a good one.
still a notable win when you get it.
In the grand scheme of things, I'm just glad Big Ten won because I'm tired of SEC thinking that they're the best.
Yeah, do you guys remember the last time an SEC team made the championship? I actually had to look this one up.
LSU?
No, it was Georgia in 2022.
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
That's right.
And
yeah.
since then, it's only been Big Ten. It was a Pac-12 team with Washington, Michigan. Then last year it was Ohio State, and Notre Dame, and this year then it was Indiana
Miami.
and Miami.
Mhm.
No SEC teams.
That is crazy.
That is crazy.
It's really weird to hear Indiana, Miami in the finals
But-
for the
but-
college football.
But there will I hot take here. I
no.
think there will be a SEC school going to the national championship.
And who do you think?
Who?
Honestly, hot take here. I think LSU goes to the national championship game with Lane Kiffin.
Hot. That's a hot
Yeah.
take.
I don't hate it.
Don't
I don't
love
lo-
it, but I don't hate
Who-
it.
I don't
who's their
love it,
quarterback?
I don't
They
think
got a
it's bad. I
five-star
think it's
quarterback
warm.
out of Arizona State. He transferred,
That's not bad.
Not bad.
and they got good players in the transfer portal. So we'll see.
I don't
Got
know.
rid of stupid Brian Kelly. I can't stand that guy.
I don't know how he lasted that long.
I don't know how either.
He has no southern accent to him, man. No southern accent.
He didn't fit in there. Like if you watch his first press conference, it was just very clear that like he had no idea what he was doing.
No.
Yeah.
He's like, I came for the paycheck and I'll leave when it's gone. You know?
Hey Chase, he's staying at home getting a nice paycheck.
Yeah, I can't blame him. Or James Franklin. You know what? If I was getting paid $60 million not to coach football, I'd take that deal too.
Yeah. But we talked about college football, but now let's talk about the Bears
Bear down.
and this very legendary season that they've had. So last game we talked about was the Vikings, and I was gonna post that up, but then like it was like 3 months later. I was like, oh yeah, that's very outdated. But we got to recap this season, so we're gonna talk about all these games a little bit. But the first game after the Minnesota game, the Bears, they played the Steelers. That game was 31-28. They had no Aaron Rodgers. I wanted Aaron Rodgers to play. He didn't, so we went up against Randolph. It was another close game. Some key players in that was DJ Moore. The run game, Kyle Monangai and Caleb Williams. The Bears beating the defending champs, the Eagles. Well, we'll get into that later. But let's talk about the Steelers.
Yeah, Aaron Rodgers, obviously everyone knows the history with him and the Bears, and there was talks about whether he was going to be able to play because he fractured his wrist. And for the first time in his life, he actually listened to the doctors apparently, and he sat out. And well, I mean, even then, there's no excuse because the Steelers were still end up being a playoff team, obviously, and they still had T.J. Watt, and we were out we were down to our fifth and sixth string linebackers in that game, and you know, it was another one of those games where the offense did have to do their fair share of obviously scoring enough points to win, and they did, scored 31. And because of that, obviously, the middle part of the season, obviously, for me, is the most enjoyable part of this Bears season just because of the amount of wins we were racking up. And they were close wins. And this whole season made aged me like about 10 to 15 years. But, you know, from that, I'm just glad that we obviously got that done in that game. And just continue the momentum forward into eventually what we're going to get to, which is that Eagles game.
Mm-hmm. Anybody else got anything to say about the Steelers?
Kind of the sentiment you had. I wish we played Rodgers. We didn't. Like Zach said, we were down linebackers. It was a resilient win. I mean, I went into the game expecting to win no matter who would be in, Rodgers or Rudolph. It really didn't matter to me. But I will say that was also a game that made me worried about our defense because obviously they gave up 28 to Rudolph and all that. But besides that, it was a good win. Close game. It came down the final play. And when the defense did need to make a stop, they did make that stop. If I remember correctly, I think Briscoe knocked down the ball. And it was a good game, fun game. And I just remember wishing Rodgers played, but happy we got the win. So.
Well, the Bears, I mean, I knew the Bears were going to beat the Steelers. I mean, Pittsburgh has just been they can't run the ball. Their defense has been kind of like, it's overrated. So I kind of knew the Bears had an opportunity to beat the Steelers. The Steelers, you know, they were just not a very good team. They made the playoffs, but the division was kind of weak. And the Bears, I expected us to win that game. I did.
I wouldn't say that they couldn't run the ball. They definitely could against us.
Oh, yeah.
Because we can't stop the run. That's the problem.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's our main problem, one would argue.
Really?
That's, like,
I think
the
it's
reason-
pass rush.
That,
Like,
yeah.
like this doesn't even involve the Bears, but the last 4 teams that are left, all top 5 in pressure rate, up the middle, which is something that the Bears definitely need to target and shore up.
Right. But, I don't know, Hunter, you want to chime into this, or you good?
Well, he mentioned the last 4. One of them is my team, the Broncos. So, yeah, pass rush.
But after that game, we played the Eagles. Now, a lot of people before that, they doubted the Bears.
They did?
They was saying, like, we had an easy schedule. So now, on Black Friday, they played the Eagles, which was a road game, under the lights, prime time on Friday,
And we got them.
and we got them. It wasn't even close.
Yeah.
It was not a close game. We beat them.
2 touchdowns.
And, like, I'll say, like, Caleb Williams, the quarterbacks, they did not have a good game. Jalen Hurts didn't have a good game, but, you know, the weather, the wind, it was hard to throw. But what did us in was the run game by Kyle Monungai and DeAndre Swift. And that really helped us. Yeah, they combined for 47 rushes and 181 yards and 2 touchdowns. Very clean and a smooth victory.
Actually, I think that rushing stat, the touchdowns are right. The rushing yards is not, because they both got like over 125
Yeah, they both-
plus in that game.
Okay, 125. Okay.
So it was, again, the whole, like, when people were talking about the Bears and how, like, they had an easy schedule, they got an easy schedule, like this tough schedule, part of their schedule coming up was going to expose them for what they truly are. And I mean, I don't know what it showed to me is that they brought a physicality that past Bears teams haven't been able to do so. And that was one of the most impressive bully ball type, smash mouth type games I've ever seen personally, because everyone wrote off DeAndre Swift after his first year in Chicago. And, you know, in the first 4 weeks of the year, it was not looking good for him. And then the bye week happened. He came back with a vengeance. And then this game, along with Kyle Monungai, again, 7th-round pick, they just completely took the Philadelphia Eagles' own game, because everyone knows the Eagles' offense doesn't really work without, obviously, a very strong run game. They didn't have that this year. In that game, the Bears showed that they were definitely one to not be messed with, and it was really enjoyable because this guy over to my left here was just like calling me and saying how he couldn't believe we beat the Eagles, and on Black Friday too, of all things. He says it's his favorite holiday apparently. So I don't know, maybe it is, but yeah, that was a very enjoyable win.
This is where I like to reinforce when you said that mid-season football is some of your favorite form of football. That this is absolutely what I would consider to be peak mid-season football, because even though we did beat them by, what was the final score of that game?
20.
I think it's 24-15.
Yeah, 24-15 sounds about right.
Yeah.
24-15.
Sounds
Yeah.
about right.
Even though we beat them by 2 scores, like, this was still a pretty close game until the end. Like, I mean, they were in it. Like, Barkley was running as Barkley does. You know, I mean, it was intense. It was like a backyard football game where teams know that they have to make an effort. They know that they have to make a push. And, yeah, I mean, that was probably my favorite game to watch as a Bears fan this year, because it was close, but it didn't have my blood pressure, like, shooting through the roof,
Now,
like most of this last month has.
I will say this. I didn't watch the most. Well, I watched a lot of the game. I saw the first half, but then I had to go to a Blackhawks game, so I ended up watching the rest of it, or trying to watch as much as I could in the car. But yeah, what a win! I'll never forget that pass to Cole Kmet that Caleb had. It was a great win. They overall played a good game, and it was just a good game. Ground game was working. Defense showed up, and it was just a good game. I mean, you don't see the Bears. Like, I went into that game having no confidence. I don't know if many Bears fans had confidence to win that game, but I sure was not one of them. I doubted them, and they ended up winning. They shocked me, and that's when I realized that this team, maybe they're better than I thought. And then you obviously had shirtless Ben Johnson in the locker room, and you had that whole good, better, best. That was probably the best good, better, best of the whole season.
Yeah, they got free hot dogs.
Free hot dogs.
At
It
the,
was
at the Wiener Circle.
that was amazing, amazing.
Yeah, Wiener Circle, highly recommend. By the way,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, it's great. They'll scream at you, but the hot dogs are incredible.
Yes. Okay, and now we talk about, after that, we talk about their loss to the Packers on the road. And that was a close
You
game.
want to take this
Heartbreaker.
one, Grant?
That's a
I'll
heartbreaker.
take this one. Yeah,
Heartbreaker.
It really was a heartbreaker. When Caleb Williams threw that pick, I was literally just upset, and I was just disappointed as a fan. But this team really showed flashes. I mean, it was just bad in general. We just didn't really have it in us. The defense struggled. It just wasn't the best performance from the Chicago Bears as a whole. But we did learn from that game, which was the most important thing, and we didn't let that game define us at all.
That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not a big fan of, like, I know Ben Johnson's whole philosophy is, besides being, like, obviously physical and run the ball, it's also about making the same things look the same, but also be a little different. I wasn't a big fan of them throwing a pass on 4th and 1 there at the end. I thought the run game was working, especially in those, like, last 2 drives. I thought it was that we finally figured something out, and he tried to run the same play. He got a little cute. Tried to run the same play he did against the Eagles to the Packers. Unfortunately, Nixon ran it, and Caleb kind of underthrew the ball too.
Yeah.
But what I don't want to say like this was with like this loss was without some positives. Like, it showed that they still had some resilience. Because remember, in this game, the first half was completely miserable. We couldn't like run the ball at all. We couldn't barely pass the ball either. We had 3 points in the first half. Meanwhile, our defense was getting carved up for like 2 big long touchdowns to Christian Watson, and I think Jaden Reed got one of them, the other one. And it just showed that our like pass rush, bro. The pass rush is such a problem.
Yeah, Jordan Love had all day to throw that
Like
ball.
those 2 touchdowns, they blitzed. Nobody got home,
Nope.
and in a blitz, you're supposed to have at least someone break through. No one did, and he dotted them up. But we came back, ended up tying the game, and
Yep.
the Bears themselves beat themselves because like in that last Green Bay drive, they had him in the backfield. It was 3rd and 3. And they run a toss to Josh Jacobs 2 yards behind the line. He had 3 guys right there. 3 guys could have tagged him. Not a single one did, and they got the touchdown, and that's how they ended up winning. So it was unfortunate, but obviously not the last electrifying moment of this season.
I think it was disappointing that we let Christian Watson have 2 touchdowns on us.
Yeah.
And 89 yards. That just shows our secondary just wasn't really playing up to that level, just letting Christian Watson do whatever he wants. Because I think Christian Watson is immensely overrated as a receiver.
Well, unless he plays the Bears.
Yeah.
Technically, he does play really well against the Bears.
I mean,
you can give a rating to any Bears player playing the Packers and any Packers player playing the Bears. They're on arcade mode. In that.
I mean, that game was a heartbreaker. Like, I'll never forget that game. But, look, that game to me, I'm not, like, obviously with how the season finished, that game I don't even think about. Because I could think about the other 2 Packers games that we played. But that's just my thought process there. I don't know if anyone else does that, but I know I for sure do that.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yes.
And I think this is where you start to see that trend of the big 4th quarter Bears thing.
Yeah.
Because I think it was
Yes.
in this game that I think our defense, I think like even maybe a pretty big part of our offense, started getting it in their head that if they just like ball out in the 4th quarter and they come in clutch, that they can piece everything together. And granted, up until this most recent game, which we'll talk about in a minute, it was working. But I don't love that mentality going into next season. Like, I don't know.
Gotta kill him when you can.
Yeah, we just didn't
Gotta
have
start
the
hot
fun
early.
in
Well,
the
like-
first half.
Well, like you said, because we were known for like picking it up at the 4th quarter, because like even before that, we did it a lot. Did it against Michigan. Oh, well, Minnesota. We did against Minnesota. But you know, after we beat the Eagles, we know like when is this? Because that can't be your defining personality. Just relying on the fourth quarter. Like when is this gonna run out? And when the game came, it's like okay, we
I
can
know what
lose
that's
to
like
these.
too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But but then after that devastating loss, we came back home and we beat Cleveland. Not even close.
Not even close.
31-3.
And we needed that win.
Shador showed why he was a 5th-round pick that day.
Well, I gotta say, to everybody who said that was gonna be a trap game, has no idea what you're
They
talking
don't
about.
watch football.
No.
You don't watch football.
They looked at the box score of the last
Yeah.
Cleveland game, and they're like, "Yeah, that's my quarterback."
All they do is watch what people talk about on ESPN and talking about how good Shador Sanders was being and going up against the Bears, saying that this was going to be a trap game.
Yeah,
Well-
I feel as though the previous game that Shador played was against the lowly Tennessee Titans.
Yeah.
Did not help him because they thought that he was going to be able to carry that performance going forward. And I mean, yeah, the Bears defense isn't this all-time great defense, obviously, but in this game, everything was working. The blitzes were working. They were getting in the passing lanes, deflecting passes, got picks. The guy over there to the far left of me knows a thing or two about Jerry Jeudy, and he dropped a touchdown pass.
Classic Jerry Jeudy.
And I mean, and then I just never forget that one play that Caleb Williams made, rolling to his right. He had essentially like two guys running at him, not in his face, but he had two guys running at him. Backpedals the throw, throws it over the top of two corners, and DJ Moore comes up and high points the catch. And you know, people in the moment probably thought that was a bad throw. Looking back at the replay, he put it only where DJ Moore could get it. Technically, there was like one corner, I don't remember his name. One corner got a hand on the fingertip on the ball and just barely tapped it, nudged it, and still fell in DJ Moore's arms. Just an electrifying throw, and that's when Caleb Williams made the infamous quote of him saying how he can make any throw. He probably can.
Zach, let me ask you this. Didn't Jalen Johnson come up with an amazing interception on Jerry Jeudy?
Yes, that's the
Yes,
one
he
I'm
did.
talking about. That's the one I'm talking about, like where Shador, he actually made a great throw, and then Jeudy just let
Yeah.
it drop
Classic
right into
Jerry
Jalen Johnson's hands. That's it.
Yeah, you can watch Hunter over there.
Jerry
I know he
Jeudy
wants to say
is
something about Jerry
trash.
Hunter,
Hot
how does-
garbage.
How does a guy with great route running skills just sucks? How
Well-
does that even happen?
goes-
Well, even in college, like he wasn't even the number 1 or 2. I think like when he was at Alabama, Henry Ruggs and Devontae Smith were better than he was. And
Seriously?
Yes.
Yes. Oh, yeah.
Yes. He was like the 3rd or 4th guy, and I'd argue Jalen Waddle was better than him. And like coming out of college, he had concentration drops issues, and in the NFL, we continue to see it. And his attitude's also a big problem.
Well, yeah. To kind of, because the Bears obviously dominated this entire game. To kind of go on the Browns' perspective here, I remember, I think they just played the Titans, and everyone was saying Shador Sanders, that's the breakout game. He's going to come against the Bears. He's going to come out flying. I think even Grant texted me worried about Shador.
Yeah.
And he showed everyone why he fell in the draft.
He watched Mel Kiper have one hernia on
Like,
national
that-
television, and
that
all of a sudden
was-
Shador is Moses.
Again, the one throw that was taken out of Judy's hands, I'm not going to fully blame him for. That was a good play by Shador. But the other picks, I can't excuse. Shador looked like a rookie, and the Bears took advantage. Normally, in years past, the Bears might not have won a game like this, where they won't take advantage of a rookie quarterback and let a rookie quarterback run over him. But this Bears team is different. Ben Johnson has this team built different, and that's good. That's a good thing.
Not to mention that this game was also in like very, very frigid cold temperatures.
It really was,
Negative temperatures.
Yes.
Every time you took a breath, you could just clearly see. Just wondering if it was like cold out there. I wonder if it was cold. It was.
Just
And also, credit to Myles Garrett. He ended up getting the sack record.
Yes.
Thank God he did not get it against us.
Thank God.
He almost did.
And that's the
Thank
only
God he
thing I
didn't.
wanted out of that game. Like when it was up like 20-3, I'm like, the only thing I want is for Myles Garrett not to get a sack in
Yeah,
this game.
and I'll tell you this. This is where there was a little bit of doubt in my mind because, again, the Browns' offense, trash.
Yeah.
The defense, though, It's
pretty
it's
solid.
it's pretty solid.
Solid.
I'll say it's pretty solid.
Defensive line's solid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like their pass rush, Myles Garrett,
but-
elite. He's gonna be a first ballot Hall of Famer, without a
yes.
doubt.
Yes.
I thought
I'd put him in right now.
that was where there will be a little bit of doubt in my mind. Like I thought, like because I knew we were gonna beat the Browns, but I didn't think we were gonna like blow them out. I thought it was probably gonna be like 21-3.
I thought it would be like 24 to like 14. I thought that'd be a decent score.
Yeah.
But no, they just came out and won like what 38-3 or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was crazy.
I want to say this. Get Myles Garrett out of Cleveland. Please get
come
him out
here.
of Cleveland.
Bring him
Come here,
Bring him
please.
to Chicago.
We'll
He would
take you.
fix
He's
so
but
much.
he costs way too.
That's for the
much,
off-season episode.
though. Yeah. But no, he costs way too much. But we do need a pass rusher.
I mean, think
though.
about it, 2 first-round picks. I
Somebody.
mean,
Yeah, 2 first round.
They might ask for 3.
but
Who
I
knows?
mean, do the Browns
I would
really have
ask for
leverage
3.
though?
They
No,
don't.
They don't.
No, they don't. That's the only issue I'm seeing here.
And they got Dylan Gabriel on their side.
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
and Shador and
Yeah.
Deshaun Watson's coming back next year at $80 million cap hit.
Oh yeah.
Nobody wants to coach him either.
Yikes!
Nobody
Can we
does.
just, like,
They can't cut him.
can they just like mandate Watson to retire? Like he's
They
not
probably-
going to start
yeah.
on a field again.
Yeah.
He's
the only way that-
disliked by almost
the
everyone
only
in
way they
every
can
They'll
get
locker
him
room.
to do that. They basically have to pay him $80 million because the contract's fully guaranteed.
Mm-hmm.
Pay him $80 million to sit on a bench for a year.
You
That's
could-
horrible.
There's a very real argument that is not only the worst contract in NFL
It
history,
is.
but the worst trade in NFL.
It is.
I think it
I
is.
think it is.
You
Wait,
can make that argument.
is.
There are others that are bad. I don't like off my dome. I don't know right now.
Just say Russell Wilson because I'm here.
Russell Wilson trade.
But refresh my
Mitchell
memory.
Trubisky trades up there.
Refresh my memory. Who did we get? Oh, well, not who did we? Who did they give up? Who did they give up?
What, like 3 first-round
They
picks?
got
3 first-round picks.
first, and
Gave up some 3rd-round picks.
Third-round picks, I think, in there.
Yeah, and they agreed to pay like a ton of this.
$250 million fully guaranteed. 5 years.
It ruined their.
Oh, and I
draft
think
strategy.
one of the picks they traded back and they used to trade for Jerry Judy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That is
right.
that is crazy.
Even better.
It ruined their draft strategy for like 4 years because they didn't have any firsts in
Yes.
like 2 seconds.
It was horrible.
Like it was.
and
I don't know.
I understand
It
like
was a lot at the time.
I understand the logic, but like he just came off 26 sexual assault allegations, right?
26 is crazy.
Which 26 is too many. And then you trade 3 first-round picks for that. And then not only that, but then he also came off a year where he sat.
Yeah, he
So
was
he's
injured.
so he's rusted. He's rusty. He has to try and stay healthy. And you have to pay him all this money while also dealing with that controversy. It's a PR nightmare. I never understood why they did it.
And it was like
after that.
the
Yeah,
contract
It
fully
wasn't
guaranteed.
Before that all happened, it was after.
Yeah, and
which is
I
crazy.
never understood the PR nightmare that was. I feel bad for everyone in Browns PR.
Yeah.
There's no way they were having a good day.
No.
The day they traded for him.
No, they weren't. But yeah. After the Cleveland's game, then we played the Packers again right afterwards.
A much better outcome.
Now that game really good.
Yeah.
We won. Didn't that game go into overtime?
Yes.
It
Yeah,
did,
that
yeah.
went into overtime.
All-time Chicago classic. Okay.
Now, yeah.
Okay.
Wait,
Now,
hang
this is-
on. Before you get into it, some preference before this. The Packers played the Broncos, and Micah Parsons tore his ACL
He
in
did.
that week, so the Packers didn't have Micah Parsons.
Very good
Go ahead
point.
now.
Very good
They
point.
didn't.
Okay. This is like the reason why I say the Bears starting next year, do need to get off to harder starts because against the Packers, both times in the regular season, and also somewhat in the playoffs too, they just start out really, really slow, and I really don't get it why. I mean, Jeff Hafley's now gone, so maybe that helps, but start out really slow. The first drive was really promising, okay, honestly, and also in this game we did not have Rome Odunze, we did not have Luther Burden, we had DJ Moore, who was banged up. He got banged up really early. Keyshawn Nixon, talk about some karma, hit him. Very dirty hit. And he got banged up, and then we had Jade Walker, the undrafted rookie, as our second wide receiver, technically, and then we had Alameda Zacchaeus,
Yes.
everyone's favorite wide receiver 5.
Of course. Yeah.
And so we started out really slow. It was not looking very good. The defense was doing its job for the most part. I did not like the fact that they kept on giving the Packers long drives, keeping our offense off the field, which means our rhythm was out of sync. But then the Bears got a couple field goals. They had to kick the onside kick because they did not get the last field goal before the 2-minute warning. So they had to kick the onside kick. And Romeo Dobbs decides to pull 2014 Packers all over again. And he just seemingly just drops it technically. and the Bears pick it up. Caleb Williams does his thing. He drives down the field. 4th down. He had 2 epic throws in this game. The first one, 4th down, rolling to his right. He had pressure right there, and he floats it up. I thought he overthrew it. I thought he missed it, but he instead, he floated up the way he did because he wanted to give Johnny Walker a chance to obviously catch up to the ball. He did. He made a heck of a catch.
Yep.
And did his little favorite crip dance, whatever
The
it's
Juby
called,
slide
the
or
Juby
whatever.
slide.
I don't know if you're noticing a pattern with Caleb Williams and these big throws. A lot of them are on 4th down.
Yes.
Where's the 1st and 2nd down big throws?
No,
Like,
only
I
on
know
4th.
I know that we want to make it as cinematic as possible. I know that we want to be Christopher Nolan's The Odyssey when it comes out this
Yeah.
June. But
It's June.
yeah, sorry, I'm a Universal page in my free time. I don't know. I just don't like that it's always down to the line like that. I mean, it makes for a fun game to remember.
Gives you
but
15 heart attacks in the process.
Yeah, what? I don't know. Yeah.
And then also Jordan Love got knocked out early in this game.
Yes.
Wasn't a dirty hit. I don't care what Packers fans and their players say. Was not a dirty hit.
I would agree.
He got knocked out of the game early, and then Malik Willis. He was playing really well. Okay, he was balling out. So I don't want to hear that Jordan Love got knocked out. That's the reason why the Packers lost. No, it wasn't. He was balling out, so he's in overtime to start it, and obviously overtime rules now is both teams can possess the ball. And they got it to the 40 of Chicago, and they had 2 plays to get 1 yard. Malik Willis does a play action fake to the left, almost like what Caleb Williams did against the Packers the first time, which is rolled his left off play action. Instead, he has no throwing lane. He tries to run. T.J. Edwards comes up and slams him, stops him short, and then on 4th down, there's a fumble snap, and the Bears stop him. And from there, that's when next score wins. So that means a field goal can win you the game. Kyle Monungai gets the 1st down carry on a 3rd and 3. And then Caleb Williams, just an absolute moon ball, perfect dot, right into DJ Moore's hands, who beat Keyshawn Nixon. That's what I was talking about with the karma earlier. Beat him and sent the Bears into not only first place in the NFC North, but also the number 2 seed, solidified that seed as well. So very big, high-stakes game and one of the all-time classic Bears games, which you can't really say about a lot of Bears games because technically we're on the opposite side of it where we end up losing in an epic way.
Easily the best Bears game I watched until 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Because going into that game, we obviously have lose to the Packers on a heartbreaking interception. I think every fan base skipped the Browns game and was looking at next week. I will give the players credit for not doing the same that Bears fans did and actually coming out and playing against the Browns, then play the Packers again. I'll give them credit for that. But I will say this, that game, frustrated, 3/4-0. 4th quarter, Caleb Magic comes in. Malik Willis also made a ton of money. A ton of money from the games he played in that game specifically. I think he made himself a decent contract this offseason.
Well, they re-signed him.
Did they resign him?
No,
Yeah.
they didn't.
I thought
He's
they
a free
did.
agent. No, I don't think
He's a free agent.
they're not going to pay him like $30 million to be a backup. I don't think. I just don't think someone would do that. But I do think he can get a job for a QB needy team. I think the Colts specifically. I've been a big pusher of Malik Willis to the Colts, but that's a whole different thing.
The big rumor is Atlanta right now.
That would be a good spot too. I don't mind that one.
Or Miami.
Miami would be
Yeah,
decent too.
speaking
Or
of Miami,
Arizona.
You
Literally-
mentioned Jeff Hath.
Anywhere that kind of needs a quarterback, But going back to the game, Caleb, incredible 4th quarter magic, onside kick, incredible. The throw to Jade Walker, I also thought he overthrew it, but it was accurate. It was a dot. Jade Walker does his epic move, which I just love so much. I just love seeing him do that. I still don't know how he does it. And then goes into overtime, the fumble. I remember screaming at my TV, fumble. I was so excited. And then the throw, as perfect as a throw as you can get in this league, and as good as a catch. We talk about the throw. I will say I'm a little frustrated with DJ Moore because obviously DJ Moore has had.
We'll come back to that.
Yeah,
We'll come back to that. That's a different story.
We'll talk all about that.
That's more relevant for
but
later
for
on.
that moment, what a catch! His eyes are covered. It's clearly a penalty, which
Yeah,
they did
that
not
was
call a
PI.
penalty. It should have been a penalty, but they didn't call it. The fact that he caught that, brung it in, was unbelievable. It was an unbelievable game, an unbelievable feeling, and I'll never forget that night because it was just awesome.
Yeah. Yeah. A lot of things. Another thing that I think a lot of y'all might have glazed over. Cairo Santos was 3 for
Yes.
3 in that
Yes,
game.
I will give him a lot of credit for that
Yeah.
game.
He does know how to kick in Chicago weather
Yeah.
He is
and Soldier
slowly
Field.
becoming
Just
the
not
best
deep.
kicker in Chicago.
Yeah, he doesn't have a. It's
He-
always going to be a problem with him. He doesn't have a wide range.
Yeah.
He was pretty good in that game for us when we needed him the most. This Bears team, they struggled. They really struggled in the first half, but then the second half and then the fourth quarter is when the magic happened. The magic happened in the fourth quarter. I don't know what happened. I don't know what steroids the players are getting put in them to play in the fourth quarter to win these ball games. But man, oh man, that game was electrifying. I agree with Gage on this one. This has got to be like one of the top 3 greatest Bears games I've ever watched, especially beating the Packers at home like that. I had one of my friends was at the game, and he said that crowd was just absolutely electrifying for a regular season game in December.
I've got a question for the Bears fans here, and you. I mean, yeah, you know a lot about football too. Other than Robbie Gould, Cairo Santos, best kicker in Bears history? Question mark. You can
Not
make
many.
the
There's
argument.
not many, so
Yeah.
you could
Yeah,
definitely make
against
the
the
You
likes
could make
of
the
Eddie
argument.
Pinheiro. Yeah.
Oh, really? I thought it was Cody Parkey.
Oh no,
That
All
guy.
right, all right.
Can-
We gotta kick him.
There's a
out,
reason that
bro.
guy's out
We
of
gotta kick him
Chicago.
out.
There's a reason why that guy's out of
Okay.
Chicago.
There's
right
a
now.
reason why he's out of the league.
I mean,
think he
okay,
said something
okay.
like-
I think I read somewhere where like he has like the most accurate like in terms of like making field goals.
From
Like he's
50 plus?
like
No.
no, like just in general. He has like the most accuracy, like 90%, which is higher than anybody, which I couldn't believe.
Is it like Justin
In
Tucker
Chicago, just Chicago,
numbers?
like
well, Justin
yeah.
Tucker could actually kick from 50 plus. That was the only thing about him.
But yeah, I mean, 54 in, I think he's like pretty good at it.
He's
Obviously,
pretty accurate, yeah.
Yeah.
so yeah,
Yeah, and then we get into the last 2 games of the season, which
we're not
you
as
know,
fun.
I mean,
well,
it wasn't as
They
fun,
didn't
but
result in
it was
wins.
still a fun
Okay.
game to watch.
Also,
I mean,
blood pressure raising.
it's yeah.
Yeah.
The Bears they lost to the 49ers on the road. Caleb Williams had 330 yards and 2 touchdown passes. The run game played solid with 110 yards combined and 2 touchdowns. Some key players: Luther Burden.
Yes.
dog.
With 8 receptions, 138 yards, 1 touchdown. Colston Loveland
Colston
with
Loveland.
6
Colston Loveland.
receptions, 94 yards and 1 touchdown.
Yeah,
The Bears defense got a pick 6 on the first play of the drive.
Amazing.
Right. I'd just like to say that for Burden, I was just going through their stats earlier. The Bears just basically just looking into every corner of this offense. Burden had the highest completion percentage on the team and among the league's best was
Yeah.
78.3% as
Yeah.
a wide receiver,
Yeah.
which in the modern NFL is pretty hard to come by.
he just gets open. He gets
Yeah.
open.
You
He
don't see
understands how like when the ball's in his hands, he makes one move, especially if he's just covered by one guy, which usually he was. He gets the ball and he makes one move and he gets massive amounts of yards after the catch.
Yeah.
Okay. That first play, I will say, not wholly unexpected.
Yeah.
The pick 6 to start it off is crazy, okay? But that was the only good defensive player of the night.
Yeah.
This game obviously showed the reason why I was so worried about the Bears this season. It's just we just don't have the pass rush. And I'm sick and tired of watching guys like Brock Purdy and Jared Goff just sit back there. Because if you just get them off their spots, you know they're going to be as less effective
Yeah.
if you do.
Yeah.
But I can't lie, this is the first time you can actually see like this Bears team was a little bit different because the Bears in their history, we all know they've been all about defense. They haven't really been all about offense besides 2013. That's when they had a good offense back then as well. But they put themselves in position because of the amount of points that we could score. Everything in this game for the offense was working. They didn't even start until the fourth quarter. They were playing well throughout the entire game. It's just unfortunate that there was a little bit of a maybe time management issue with Ben Johnson there where he didn't save a timeout after he did the lateral play, the hook and ladder, because DeAndre Swift obviously didn't run to the boundary. He ran, just tried to get the first down and tried to get the touchdown, unfortunately. So he had to clock it, and then they had some miscommunication in the final play, and he just tried to make it some happen, okay? But that doesn't take away from the fact that the offensive nucleus and core the Bears have is young, it's cheap,
Yes.
and it's very, very, very good. Okay, that way, that's why you see like a guy like DJ Moore, which we'll get into a little bit later. How there might be a guy like him that's expendable because of the amount of young offensive talent the Bears have right now.
Go ahead.
I think the Bears, the offense, that was the best the offense has ever been. I mean, we put up 40 points against the 49ers. That was incredible. The defense, it was just kind of reminded me of like a game of like the Chiefs Rams a couple of years ago for that Monday Night Football game. Just a high scoring game. Obviously there weren't 50 points put up, but it kind of reminded me of that game. And the offense, Colson Loveland had a tremendous game. I owe Colson Loveland a tremendous apology for how on draft night when we drafted him. That guy has been unbelievable for us, especially when Caleb throws him the ball. He just makes plays, and Luther Burden too, man. I'm glad we started in the beginning of the season, Zach. Didn't we not utilize them as much?
We weren't using either of them.
Really much, and then we just started utilizing more of them, both Burden and Loveland, and then our offense became more explosive.
Yeah, if you watch Caleb Williams' career at USC and even at high school too, he never was a big component of using his tight ends. Now, I'm not saying that his tight ends weren't good, or at least like obviously they're an athlete, but he never once was a big component of using a tight end. Colson Loveland comes, it's kind of the same story the first 6 weeks. He's not utilizing tight ends, whether that's Ben Johnson, whether that's himself. Now, I will say there were some scheme guys out there that said that Colson Loveland was getting open, which I do believe, because what we saw in the second half, he was getting open a ton.
Yes.
And that's the reason why I like the pick, and I didn't hate the pick. I mean, yes, I'm always hating the pass rush. Everyone knows this.
Yes.
But, okay, it was best player available, and in this spot, Jalen Walker technically had an all-right season, but, I mean, I'm fine with taking Colson Loveland, especially with what he did, okay? And tight end is a big factor because, again, the duos that win a lot in the league, Brady and Gronk, Mahomes and Kelsey, the quarterback-tight end duo is extremely, extremely important and something that cannot be overlooked, okay?
I will say this. I'll get to you in a minute. Like you said, the pass rush. Christian McCaffrey just ran around us the whole game. We had no answer for him. Like, I literally, like, after we scored a touchdown and then we gave the ball to 49ers, they ran it with him like 2 times, and they were already in neutral zone territory. Like, we had no answer for McCaffrey.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
That game was fun and sad at the same time. Obviously, I was sad that they lost. I think every Bears fan was. But I will say this. They let Brock Purdy do way too much. Okay. He's like doing this thing on it. He's like, I'm like, oh my, this just stop. I was so sad. I was like, why is he doing that? He was dancing on us, and then you had Chris McCaffrey going off. The whole defense disappointed. Obviously, that pick six in the beginning was awesome. But man, I do have to give a lot of credit for Caleb in this game, Burden, Montgomery, Colson Loveland.
He's been off the team for 3 years.
Like it was a heck of a game. I think Swift had
Yeah, Swift had a touchdown.
Yeah, he had a touchdown. Swift had a good day. Just the whole offense in general is just clicking, and that's what I love to see. Now that's what I hope happens next year, is that we can consistently have games like this where they don't just play in the fourth quarter; they can play all 3. But right now, that game, really good stepping stone, I think, in Caleb's career. And I think if he can bring in some momentum in the next year and just think about what went right in that game, I definitely think this Bears team can have probably an even better offensive season next year if they make the right moves, of course.
Yeah. Now, this
hang on.
Oh, okay.
Obviously, I'm not a Bears fan. I'm a Broncos fan, but obviously, I love to look at prospects and stuff for the draft and everything because, well, let's just say when I look over and I see all these Bears offensive weapons, I get kind of jealous because my weapons are meh. I really liked Luther Burden coming out of Missouri, especially like when I read like his profile and how someone said he has Jerry Jeudy-like traits, but with Amon-Ra St. Brown hands, which to me just screams wide receiver 1, and it screams I want that guy on my team. So he kind of showed in that game why I think he could be wide receiver 1.
Also, definition of best player available again.
Also, too,
Just saying.
I think it's crazy that the fact that the Bears actually have a future with 2 number 1 receivers, Luther Burden and Rome Odunze, in the future.
Well, Rome got to work on them hands.
That is honestly just crazy to me. I never thought in my lifetime the Bears would actually have 2 capable number 1 receivers on our team.
Just the last time was Brandon Marshall, Alshon Jeffrey.
Yep,
That was
Rome-
the last time.
yeah.
That was the last time.
I like Rome as a wide receiver 1. Not as a wide receiver 1. I like him as a future wide receiver 2. But I completely agree with Zach. Dude was dropping the ball like
Too much.
I think he dropped it like
I mean,
40% of the time.
I
but
get
got his
that he had a
hands on
stress
it.
fracture.
I mean, wasn't he
in his
coming off
foot.
of an injury though?
Yeah, he had a
He was
stress
playing
fracture
through
in his
an
foot.
injury.
Yeah.
He was playing through it like half the year with a stress fracture, but a stress fracture in your foot does not affect the hands that you
can
have.
get
The
over
ball
that
was
in
literally
about 2 weeks.
like the ball was literally thrown at him a decent amount, and he dropped a couple very easy catches.
I will say this: I'm not as scared about Rome as I am just yet. It was his second season, and he had good moments.
He did look great.
He did look great in the beginning. Obviously, that second half, little rough.
He was hurt though.
I know.
Yeah,
But with that being said, I'm not obviously I don't think anyone is ready to give up on him
I'm
just
not-
yet.
I'm not
No
giving
one
up on
is.
him.
No one's going to give up on him. But I will keep saying, if this happens next year and he has more drops, and then it happens again, okay, now we're having a little bit of a problem. Specifically next year. I think next year, I do think next year he can be a good receiver too, and I think Luther Burns actually going to take over wide receiver 1 from what I saw in the second half of this year. But I think right now it's going to be Burden 1, Rome 2, and we're going to see if Rome can really start to, kind of pick it up a little bit more.
The thing is, though, you don't really know. Like, I feel like Caleb throws to Rome a lot. He just is
does.
like one of his favorite targets, though.
But
So
I
he
think-
might be the number one guy.
I would argue Burden.
I think
got a
Burden has
lot
taken
more
his
targets.
trust.
I think Burden got a lot more targets to end that second
I
half.
think
than
Loveland did.
And a lot
And
more.
Loveland.
Yeah.
I would even
Loveland.
argue
They
got a
both
lot
did.
more
More
Rome.
catches too.
Mhm.
That
Yeah.
is true.
I can't remember the last time Rome scored a touchdown.
I'd
Yeah,
say the
it was-
Michigan, the Minnesota game.
Was it
Michigan
Minnesota?
game.
Yeah,
I don't think
Which
he scored
one?
a touchdown in the game.
the second one.
Second
Okay.
one. Yeah.
Think about it.
I don't think he
It
did.
wasn't week 1.
It wasn't. It wasn't the Browns, was it?
No, he
I
didn't.
don't-
He didn't play that
game.
game.
He didn't play. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
So then I don't see. That's my point.
It was like it had to have been like.
Now tell me a Luther Burden.
Like
touchdown.
I remember,
can name you one off the
I
top of my
remember
head.
that he had a touchdown taken off the board
Loveland.
against the Commanders,
Or
but that was all the
Moore.
way back in week 5 or week 6.
I mean, I
Week
could tell
6.
you the recent Moore touchdown. I could tell you
Yeah.
the recent Burden touchdown. I can even tell you the recent Loveland touchdown, but I cannot tell you a recent Rome touchdown.
You could even give us the
there was a
recent Zacchaeus touchdown.
Zacchaeus against the
Yeah.
Packers in the playoffs.
Yeah.
Yeah. The
Yeah.
most recent Johnny
Alright, hang
Walker
on.
touchdown.
Johnny Walker.
That
The
is
most
true.
recent.
But I can't tell you
Alshon
wrong.
Jet- No,
Alshon
yeah,
Jeff.
my bad.
Oh, the most
Sorry.
recent.
Super Bowl
I'm
52.
just sorry. I'm just I'm just reminiscing.
Yeah.
Sorry, my bad.
And then we get into the final game of the regular season.
Oh wait, hang on, I found it. Roman Dunze's last touchdown was against the Giants.
Oh, wow.
Week 10.
Never would have got that.
I don't think about that game.
Yeah.
I don't think about
Yeah,
that.
That was a
game.
good comeback, but I don't.
I don't think about that.
That was a good time.
Yeah.
But yeah, going into the final game of the regular season, we played the Lions.
Yeah,
lost.
this is gonna.
I mean,
This is the reason. This is the reason why, you can't get complacent. Okay, even though you made the playoffs, you won the NFC North.
well, the
great,
second
great job.
The second seed was also guaranteed, so that means
Well,
And
that
that
game
too.
did not mean
I get it. It didn't mean a whole lot. Technically, it did kind of because the Eagles still could have won
Thank the
their
Commanders
game.
for that one.
Yeah, but 2C was
Okay.
guaranteed.
Okay, but get swept by the Lions is really tough.
Yeah.
Okay, and this is the reason why I said that we need some pass rush because I'm tired of watching Jared Goff look like the best quarterback in football against us when we're the only NFC North team that made him look like that. Because the Packers made him look vulnerable. The Vikings the previous week definitely made him look vulnerable. And we went. I know it was like a couple close games, so it can the bounce here, bounce out. We could win. We went 2-4 in the division this year. There's no sugarcoating it. They ain't gonna cut it. Probably most seasons where you're doing that below 500 record against your own division and win the actual division itself. So there's that. Okay, and I honestly don't think Ben Johnson did a whole lot in scheming up this game because a lot of the routes they were running that first half, especially, really simple. Really easy to cover. Like it was a bunch of curls, a bunch of like 5-yard outs, just quick stuff. And keep in mind that there was a chance. Okay, it wasn't a. I wouldn't say there was a high chance, but there was a chance that Caleb Williams could have became the first 4K yard quarterback in Bears history. And it was looking really, really bad. It looked like he was going to be below like 150 yards against the same Lions defense that made the Steelers offense look very elite, and the Steelers offense is definitely not elite.
He does
So
have the most in Bears history, though. He just doesn't have 4,000.
yeah, I know.
Yeah.
So he did break that record. So at least that's good because you can no longer talk about Eric Kramer. He did shout him out on Twitter though. So at least that was nice to see. But yeah, again in that fourth quarter, those 2 drives, tremendous work. Okay, especially by Colson Loveland. This was like his actual I think he had the most yards in this game in his whole career was in this game. Cole Kmet made one heck of a catch. on the 2-point try to tie the game,
I do question.
and it was just another one of those games where the Bears gave them a chance to win, especially after they got that pick on Jared Goff. I thought they were going to drive down the field and potentially win it, but then Burden unfortunately dropped the ball, and then we couldn't get the first down, and there was a intentional grounding penalty, and we didn't chew enough time off the clock and give the Lions too much time.
That's what I was going to say. I question the time management because, like, you know how usually when we're the ones with the ball with like 3 minutes left, it was the Lions this time with the ball with 3 minutes left, and they kicked a field goal to win the game. You know, it was like now it was our turn to be on the receiving end of that.
Also, too, our defense really just did not show up in that game at all. It just seemed like, nope, we couldn't get any pressure. We couldn't get any turnovers, really. It was just our defense was absolutely just bad in that game, and it really showed. It really did show.
I mean, it was a rough game all around, not going to lie. I mean,
And then Caleb struggled, too, in the first half.
I mean, Colson Loveland, he only had 91 yards on 10 receptions. He was kind of like the best player on the
That's
offense.
it. He had the most receptions. Okay,
Yeah.
there you go. Yeah.
They only mustered up one takeaway out of that. Special teams, they played solid, though.
Yeah.
But the Bears left too much time on the clock, and they lost via a game-winning field goal.
That was a disappointing game in a lot of ways. Like, obviously, we got lucky. The Eagles lost so that we got the 2 seed. That was lucky.
Thank you, Commanders.
But I'll say this. That game was disappointing in a lot of ways. One, not beating the Lions this year, I think, eats me up a little bit inside. You have to win. If you get swept by the Lions next year, that's going to be, at least for me, it's going to be a problem. The only reason I say that is because Amon-Ra St. Brown is really annoying. I don't know if you guys have seen his podcast at all, but he was making fun of the good, better, best. He was saying that it was stupid and it was garbage, and I'm like, city loves it. Like, you guys might not have liked it, but the entire city of Chicago, I feel, has wrapped around this saying. I don't know if anyone else has noticed that, but I've sure noticed it. Whenever I went to a Blackhawks game after the Black Friday game, like I mentioned earlier, and almost every single person was wearing a good, better, best T-shirt.
Yeah.
If I ever saw a Bears T-shirt, it was the good, better, best.
It gives the Bears an identity.
Yes.
Like, you know how, like, the Falcons have their slogan, like, rise up, or, like, you know, technically the Bears slogan is bear down. I mean, Duval. But, like, you know, I'm not gonna lie, I wouldn't be disappointed if they replaced bear down with good, better, best.
I wouldn't mind it. And it took over, like, if you watch the progression of good, better, best over the season, like during the Cowboys game, it's a little slow. They don't really have the emotion. But as it continued and as they start getting these big wins, that locker room got way and way more into it, and that's what I like so much about it.
I like both of them. I think you got to keep them one hand in the other with good, better, best, and bear down.
I think you got to keep both. Yeah.
I think you keep both. Maybe even mix them together. You know, you're like good, better, best, and like, oh yeah, get the group all hyped up in the locker room. And then you go bear down on 3, you know, like or something like that.
I think that when the Bears are in the playoffs, hypothetically make the playoffs next season, they should have towels saying good, better, best.
I think they did.
Did they?
They did. I'm pretty sure they did.
I could have sworn they did.
Yeah, I think they did.
I thought they just had towels that just like people just waved around. I didn't know they had to.
Because they
No,
just
they had some in
started.
them.
They started selling good, better, best merch like near the end of the year.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
they waited a little too long to make it, but it is what it is.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie, that good, better, best stuff kind of like started like towards like the meat of the, like you said, you know, the mid-season football.
Yeah, I think it peaked at that Eagles game.
Yeah.
It really did.
When Roma Dunze punched a hole in the ceiling.
I think got hurt.
That was.
Wait, maybe that's why he kept dropping the ball.
Yeah, of course.
Maybe he just broke his hand and we just never knew. Who knows?
I mean, they play on a lot of injuries. But,
Yeah.
I think,
But yeah, that's why. But back to my main point. That is why I wanted to beat him so bad, because when you have all this like just trash talking, and I just don't. It's actually starting to, I think, for me at least, starting to create a rivalry. I think with the Lions, which I never thought I'd say.
I mean,
Well,
I would.
for
I mean, I've shared this with Grant. He never really hated the Lions
No
like
one
that.
did.
I did.
I did.
I
didn't-
never have once liked our rivals.
I didn't hate them, but I
I
didn't.
never had zero about this. I never had zero sympathy.
I
for
didn't
any of
hate them, but I didn't love them either. If that
I don't
makes
like any
sense.
Detroit team. not
My
gonna lie.
my
That's
stance on
neutral.
the
Neutral.
Lions is just this: they have been bad for so long. Like I mean, even when the Lions beat the Bears, they were still a bad team. Like I mean, and the Bears were bad too. So the games really didn't matter at all. now these games kind of matter now. This is like the first time as a Bears fan where I can remember a Bears-Lions game actually matters.
Actually, forget
Well, actually,
all
that one
that.
didn't really matter. The Lions were eliminated.
Well,
Oh yeah, but forget all that. I mean,
For
our
pride.
division, we pretty much have the toughest division right now. Like every division.
You can make the
game
argument
is
the NFC
NFC
West.
West with
Well,
the with
I
the
think
Yeah, the West.
Rams.
West is.
Seahawks.
Oh yeah, that
Stacked.
division too.
Yeah, the
49ers,
West is
Seahawks, Rams.
stacked.
Okay, we might have like the second toughest.
Second toughest,
second
yeah.
toughest is
And then I
is
go
right.
probably go AFC West third.
AFC West.
Yeah.
Refresh my memory.
Chiefs, right?
Chiefs.
Chargers, Broncos.
I'm gonna
And
say
then-
this year though.
And then
It will be though.
next year
It
it's going
will
to be Fernando Mendoza and new head coach.
Yeah.
Yes, but
So
okay,
I feel so bad for him.
Yeah.
Playoff.
but now let's get into the playoffs.
The good one
The good one.
The best game of the Chicago Bears have played
that I've watched.
that
Yes.
I've ever seen.
I was rage baiting Gage the whole time.
Yikes.
Yes.
It's not difficult to
Don't-
do. I
don't-
tell you
It was that
time.
one play,
Don't need to remember
With
that
Luther
one.
Bird.
It was
Yeah.
that one pick. It was that one pick.
which, by the way, they ran that same play against the Rams, and we were right.
We'll
He was
talk-
supposed to cut in.
We'll get to that in a minute.
Yes.
But no, the Bears, they beat the Packers of a score of 31-27. Didn't we beat them the last game with the same score?
No.
No, it was
No.
22-16.
22-16. Okay. Well, this one, yeah, 31-27. The Bears came back and won after a 21-3 deficit. I'm not gonna lie,
Yes.
I was kind of like ready to leave after.
I don't blame you.
I think
But,
everybody
you know,
was.
Caleb Williams, he had 352 yards in that game.
How much
Yeah.
in the second half?
That had to be at least 200.
Like,
of that.
Yeah,
250?
Probably had to be
Near-
like 200.
near
Bro was
200,
asleep
yeah.
at the wheel for-
The run game was okay.
It was all right.
It was all right.
It was okay.
Remind me again, wasn't this the game where Colston Leatherhead was going off?
He had
Yes.
8
Yes,
receptions and 137 yards.
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
his game.
This is
DJ Moore with the game-winning touchdown.
again.
Yeah.
Special teams play
Oh, we'll get
really
back.
good. Combined 99 yards on kick returns and 64 yards on punt returns.
Yeah.
And Cairo Sanchez went 3 for 3 on field goals.
Jordan Love was back for the first time since the last time he played the Bears.
Again, that pressure on him.
Yeah.
We had no
Still none.
pressure on
was
him.
He
bad.
could write a novel
Again,
with how much
okay,
time he had back.
I will give credit, okay? He's not this bum quarterback that some Bears fans think he is, okay? He is pretty good, okay?
He's good. He's
But
very
I don't
good.
I
He's
don't
not
I
Brett
don't
Favre.
I don't worry about Jordan Love the same way you worry about Aaron Rodgers.
Exactly.
Or a guy like Brett Favre. I just don't, okay? I just don't. But he did have 4 touchdowns in this game. He played excellent throughout. And, you know, the run game for them was not really there, which I was kind of shocked. But, you know, again, it was another example of the Bears where, you know, they weren't doing anything. It was 21-3 at halftime. And, you know, it was going to take, you know, another one of those get in the locker room, get your mind right, stay in it type of games. The Bears had chances, okay? They really did. It was like 4th and goal or 4th and 1 from the 5-yard line. He decides to run play action pass. DJ Moore slips on the initial route, and I'm not sure if it was going to go to him either way because he was like looking to the left, not the right. But still, that didn't help. And then he just floats it up and he gets picked off again. And then they had the fumble in their own territory. The Packers did. The Bears couldn't pick it up. They had some opportunities, okay? They had some opportunities. They let it slip. But again, their minds stay sharp throughout. And in that first half, you can see the Caleb Williams frustration, which people get on him about how he's emotional and how he can't do that. But he was just letting his emotions ride. He was really pissed off.
I think that's what you want to see in a
his wide
quarterback.
receivers weren't running the right routes. They weren't doing anything. No one was really doing their job. How about that? And then in that second half, you know, he just start chunking away, field goal. Get a touchdown, make it 21-16 with Swift. Packers get the ball. Matthew Golden gets his first touchdown, which would have been really bad to watch, see them lose, because then they're going to be replaying that because, you know, the whole thing with Matthew Golden had their Packers first round pick, first round wide receiver. Hadn't got a touchdown all year until that playoff game. But then the Bears quickly answered back with a Zacchaeus touchdown, and then the Packers missed the field goal. Brandon McManus, former Broncos legend.
He
Classic
missed
Brandon
like
McManus.
three.
Yeah.
McManus missed like 3 field goals.
Yeah.
In that
He
game.
missed an extra
Yeah.
point.
Yeah.
Two field goals.
Yeah.
Yeah, so yeah, he might be a playoff choker.
Big time.
Bears get the ball right, and they start driving down the field, and then, you know, they didn't take off as much time as I would have liked, but I mean, you can't pass up the opportunity to take the lead because when Moore's open like that on that excellent play call, fake screen toss, I mean, You got to take the lead there, and then obviously have trust in your defense. And it's a good thing that he didn't miss that extra point, because again, like they would have needed just a field goal to tie it. Instead, they had to go for the touchdown. And then, that the Hail Mary play, if you can call it that. He drops the ball. We only rushed 3 again. Really reminiscent of that one game.
Love fumbled.
He fumbled. He
Maybe it's
ran,
just a
but he
Bears
still
thing.
he had so much time to try and make something happen. Okay, he couldn't do it. He just throws it to the end zone. It falls incomplete, and the Chicago Bears has finally won a playoff game for the first time since 2010.
Let me say this. That was the greatest game of Bears football I've ever watched. That easily beat out the previous Packers win. And it started off rough. Obviously, you're down 21-3 at half. The defense was 3 for 3 in giving up touchdowns. On 3 drives, they gave up 3 touchdowns. Obviously not giving me the most confidence. An offense struggled even throughout the third quarter. It wasn't until the fourth quarter they finally decided to kind of
As usual.
really show up. And the whole comeback, the throw to Zacchaeus, the missed field goal from McManus, the touchdown leading to Moore, that whole time, unbelievable. Just an unbelievable comeback. Caleb showed why he's the Iceman, showed why he has this clutch ability that not many quarterbacks in the NFL have. Again, we'll worry about next season when next season comes, and if he can do it whole game, whatever. Right now, you have that clutch factor. But point is, that final play scared every part of my being. I just remember him fumbling the ball and him running around to the left, to the right, and I'm like, this is very reminiscent of the Commanders, of that Commanders game.
Yep.
And he threw it up, and I'm like, oh no. And then I saw Kyler go and try and catch it, and I'm like, what are you doing? Do not tip it up. And luckily he missed it because it went straight to the ground, and the Bears won. And oh my goodness, that was the greatest thing I think I've ever seen as a Bears fan. I don't even think it's close.
Yeah.
Let me say my thoughts right here about this game, the playoff game. I was dead silent for the first half.
Yes.
I didn't really say much about the game because I had a feeling this was going to happen, so I didn't want to get my hopes up and get and then the second half, that's when everything started to change. Our team just struggled throughout the whole first half, even the third quarter, and then for some reason, I heard this is a report too, that Caleb Williams went over to the defense and told them, you guys gotta play better. And they played better in the second half. I will give the defense credit where the credit's due. They played better in the second half. And then, our offense still struggled. But then Caleb just, he's Iceman. This is what he did. He's clutch. He's a clutch quarterback. He said, we're going to win this game. He always has that mindset. He has that Michael Jordan mindset of, we're going to win this game no matter what. And he did that. He was clutch. Unbelievable game. That was the greatest Bears game I've ever watched in my entire life. I was nervous. I almost had a heart attack.
Yes, we could.
I was panicking. I was breathing so hard.
Yes.
My hands were sweating. My feet were sweating. I was sweating everywhere. My whole body was just sweating because that game was just so epic.
Ladies and gentlemen, he is not exaggerating. That is literally what happened.
Legit, almost.
That is a
That
snapshot.
this
Passed
dude
out.
literally
I thought he was
almost
gonna pass
died
out.
right next
I thought
to
he
me.
was going to have a heart attack. I legit thought, I'm like, well,
If you think this
one
is
of my friends will take you to the hospital. I'm busy watching this game.
if you think he's being hyperbolic, he is not. He almost died right next to
No,
me.
he did.
I was inebriated, so I was okay. Yeah.
But no, after the game, it was just. I'm not gonna lie. Part of me couldn't even believe that we finally won a playoff game.
Yeah.
Because the last time we won a playoff game, I barely remember it.
It was like 2010, I think.
7-9
Yeah.
Seahawks
Yeah.
came to
7-9
Soldier
Seahawks.
Field.
Yeah.
I
See?
don't even
That's
remember.
why. I don't
wasn't
remember it.
watching the Bears.
Exactly.
Me
I
neither.
didn't even know about football.
Yeah. It wasn't something I knew about.
Yes. But, and then we get into some heartbreaking stuff.
I
And
wanna-
unfortunately, this is where our season ends.
I
Yeah.
want to kick things off on this segment. Can we get the DJ Moore opinions and takes out of the way before we really get into the meat
I
and potatoes of this
I
game?
literally put a star next to this in my
I'll
notes.
start.
What is the problem with DJ Moore?
Well, I'll tell you what the problem is with DJ Moore. I said I was going through those stats earlier. 70% the last 2 years of him as a Bear, just completing catches. I want to hear just someone's prediction on what
50.
the number was this
Most
year.
likely 50.
55.
Yep. That sounds about right.
Dude, like, he was getting the ball more.
Mm-hmm.
He was literally getting thrown passes more by Caleb in the second half of the year, and he was dropping the ball 15% more than he was beforehand. That's not really acceptable from your wide receiver one. He was slowing down on catches. He was obviously he's been making these clutch catches in the fourth quarter. And even though people are like, he lost us the Rams game, he's the reason we were in the Rams game.
That's true.
I think you keep him around another year. I'm on the
So restructure his contract because the Bears have no cap space.
Yeah.
They're over the cap.
Re-
You have to
restructure.
restructure
Yes.
it if
Okay.
you don't want to move them.
Okay. To go on that point, I don't hate the idea of keeping DJ Moore. I don't hate it. Obviously, he would need to play better in terms of his drops. I think as playing as a receiver 2 or receiver 1 in this offense, it can work. I'm not going to say it can't, but the only reason I looked at his contract when I was working back at Phantom over in Northwest Indiana, and I was talking to my bosses about sports. We looked up his contract. He's making $22.5 million a year. For a wide receiver 2, most likely next year, if Burden can take that jump.
I'd say
he can.
3.
He might be
And
worth it.
that's even maybe 3 if Rome Odunze can take that next jump. You're paying a wide receiver 3 $22.5 million.
Yeah.
I would just trade him to a team like Oakland, and maybe hopefully they would. I don't.
Las
the
Vegas.
First,
No.
Vegas. My bad. Vegas.
It should be Oakland.
It should be
It
Oakland, but
should be
Vegas.
open, yeah.
Trade like DJ Moore on a first for Bax Crosby. That then trades off contracts, so you're a very similar spot. Then restructure everything and kind of figure out what you got to do the rest. But with that being said, I mean it's just the only issue for me with Moore is just the contract. It is legit. It has. I mean his play obviously giving up on that ball in the Rams game, big part of it. But another huge part of it to me is $22.5 million for a wide receiver 2 or a wide receiver 3. I just don't think it's worth it. That's my only that's like the biggest issue for me.
Here's where I stand on DJ Moore. Hunter, I will trade you a 5th or a 6th round pick straight up for DJ Moore.
I would give you a 6 just because the contract is completely. I think he's making the same amount as Cortland Sutton
Deal.
is.
Deal. I'll do that deal.
He has like
I
$8
wouldn't
million
do that deal.
guaranteed.
Well,
I wouldn't do that deal.
I just
I'd rather
want him
trade
on.
for Jalen Waddle,
I'm
but
It's
if
too late.
I'm just
But
I just kind of want DJ Moore gone, or if he's willing to take a pay cut, you keep him.
But that's the problem.
But-
If you restructure it, future years, who's going to trade for the contract then?
But-
if
but-
they don't want to trade for it now.
But I mean, the Bears are in a good situation right now where yes, DJ Moore is making a lot of money, but a lot of the young guys on offense are on their rookie contracts, and we don't have to pay Caleb yet.
That's
So, I mean, the Bears could technically keep DJ Moore for another season and then get rid of him after the following season where we have to pay Caleb that big contract.
But again, you'd still have to, with the $22.5 million he's making this year, you'd still have to push off
a lot.
to get a good edge rusher that you want. To get a Max Crosby or a Garrett, you're gonna have to push at least $10 million that way. Meaning then
30
he's gonna
million.
be making maybe even that. Which means then instead of if you push off $30 million, that means then instead of making 22.5, he's gonna be making like what 30 plus million next year, 40 million next year.
Zach, what is your take on
Not
the
great.
performance of DJ Moore?
When he got traded to the Bears, everyone was just caring about how the Bears traded traded the number 1 pick for all these assets. I think he got kind of overlooked, maybe just a little bit, because again, he's not this perennial Pro Bowl type of receiver. He is a guy that can get you 1,000 yards. He has done it before. He's had 4 1,000-yard seasons. And credit where credit is due. Something about him and Justin Fields that first year just clicked. But again, his only competition really in that room was Darnell Mooney. That was it. Caleb Williams comes in, and it's even Caleb's first year when we didn't have Luther Burden, we didn't have a Colston Loveland. He didn't really use Cole Kmet like that either. He and Caleb, for some reason, just do not click. They just don't.
Not as much.
And I don't get it. And his effort at times is questionable. If anyone has paid attention to the QB school and some of his breakdowns, he does criticize DJ Moore a fair amount. And what happened in that playoff game to end it didn't help matters. wasn't the best decision by Caleb, I don't think, either. But again, the data show that he slowed down 3 miles per hour from his break to when Caleb was throwing the ball. I don't know if he didn't know if the ball was coming or not. I don't think he did. But either way, you can at least try to attempt to break it up.
Mm-hmm.
And unfortunately, that's the play that everyone's gonna remember because that's what ended the Bears season.
Well, I will say this: what ended the Bears season our offense just couldn't really click. I mean, we had a bunch of drop passes in the first half. I mean, drop passes after drop passes. That's a massive concern, and that did not help at all. Caleb just throwing he had two bad interceptions didn't help at all. I mean, we just played kind of crappy football in the first half, and in the fourth quarter, obviously, we somehow just find a way to come back and make it a game competitive. But God almighty, we forgot about one great thing that just happened. What a throw by Caleb Williams to Cole Kmet.
I don't think we forgot.
Oh, yeah.
How did he make that?
I don't think we forgot.
They were coming back to
down
that.
there.
They were coming back to that. They weren't going to.
I was going to talk about that whole
We
game
all
in a
were.
second.
Oh wait, before we start, I saw this article a couple years ago, even before the Bears traded DJ Moore, and how in the offseason, he doesn't
Oh my
really.
God.
He a couple months he takes off. He just drinks Mountain Dew and
be careful what you say, Gabe.
smokes cigars. That's
Just saying.
That's all he does. What was I gonna say?
I don't know. That could be fake news.
I don't think it was. With
I
the way
don't
he,
think
with the
it
way,
was.
with the way he acts and sometimes he slows down. I truly believe the article was telling the truth.
I was just gonna say the problems that were in this game were the problems that got overlooked because we were winning these games.
Yeah.
Okay, which is despite the talent level the Bears have, they are right on par with the Broncos for drops and
Yes.
yards missed, and cute play calling from Ben Johnson at times. He goes for every fourth down. It seemed like
Dan Campbell for you.
he's got to learn that there's a balance to this because he could have taken a field goal earlier and
They could have had 9 points. I think.
He could have had 16 points in that first half.
Yeah, if you want to go that further, yeah.
Gage, what was that one play I was telling you about? I thought the Bears they went for it on fourth down, and then they didn't want to go
That
for the
was
field
the
goal.
one. That was the one on the goal line. But the only reason I say go for that is because you need a touchdown. You can't risk going onside
That was also just-
kick.
Yeah,
Well,
that one's
that was-
fine.
That was a great design. It's just a better defense play.
That one, I say you go for it there. But the other ones in the first half, you don't go for it because you could just take 3, 4, 6 points. With all the field goals.
Yeah.
But,
Yeah, we weren't forgetting that throw to Cole
Yeah.
Kmet.
So
that catch
it was amazing.
that is personified. Somebody's down there. Forget it. Somebody's down there. And I don't even I don't believe Caleb believed that he was down there. I think he was just chucking it up. to
No,
get
I
it
think he
off.
did. I think he
he
saw
knew.
the one-on-one.
But he saw it last second.
Yeah.
If you look at the video, he stops and is like, "Oh, I have a man," and he just used all of his
Yeah.
strength. I think the ball went 50 yards.
He
probably thought-
threw it from the 40.
He probably
So,
thought
yeah.
it was Colston Loveland though, instead of Cole Kmet.
He's
It's
like, "Oh no, that's
oh no,
No.
wow, he caught it.
No, Loveland was
Oh.
out at that point. He
Yeah,
knew he
Because
wasn't
after
there.
that catch, my dad texted me. He was like, "How? How did he
Yeah,
do
how?
it?" I'm like, "How did
But
he do
let me
that?"
ask you this: do you think they should have went for 2?
No.
Well, now looking back on it, actually,
Well, maybe.
Yeah.
Okay.
Looking back on it,
Okay.
yes.
Okay.
In the
Okay. Here's the thing.
In the moment,
Here's
no.
the thing.
moment,
Okay.
no, I
They were
agree.
really
Well, yeah, I made a
terrible.
difference.
They were really terrible in short yardage
2-1.
situations all night. It wasn't working.
True.
I am more surprised that teams don't go for 2 after a big play like that. I remember the Broncos Bengals game
Yes.
from 2 years ago.
I remember Bo Nix
Where
going
he
this on the
he
sideline.
wanted to go for 2 after a big play like that could demoralize a defense because you did everything possible. There you had 3 edge rushers coming at Caleb Williams. He still chucked it up and still got the touchdown. I can see that their confidence might be shaking a little bit and you want to go for 2, but again, the way things were going in that game, the short yardage stuff and everything, it's kind of just
Well,
50-50 really.
The Bears were 25th in fourth down conversion percentage
Well,
last year.
let
among the
me-
32
Yeah, that's
teams in the league.
also a problem
well, let
as
me
well.
say this. Well, that at the time I said take the 1. You want to go to overtime, but with how the game ended, yeah, I kind of did wish to go for 2. But that's just with how the game ended. But that's in hindsight. At the time, yes, I wanted him to go for 1. I'm not going to sit here and say I always wanted him to go for no.
Yeah.
I
He
wanted him
had
to go for 1.
he had 4 potential throw of the years in 1 year. That's
Yeah.
crazy.
But for that, let's just go into that whole that whole game was so the defense actually
That
played
defense
good.
played really well.
They played
for
good.
what I thought. was going to happen was the Rams were going to score at least 20 points,
Yeah.
at least,
I thought
which
Bears
is what
would
they
have to-
did. But
yeah.
I mean, I thought they were going to throw like 24 or something
Yeah.
like that.
Jaquan
And that-
Brisker had a
that
great
didn't
game
happen.
too.
Which, by the way, he's a free
And,
agent.
Which
Tremaine Edmonds as
Oh,
well deserves praise on that game.
yeah.
It's just crazy, man. The defense actually played great.
And this time the offense was the one that really couldn't get it
Yeah.
going. Until, of course, the fourth quarter. Again.
As usual.
But I think a lot of it had to do with like drop passes. If we had
That
caught
too,
those
yeah.
passes, I think the offense would have been playing
Well, one
better.
thing these two teams
turnovers.
agree on: drop balls.
Well,
A lot.
there were two turnovers that were on Caleb, but there was another
Yeah.
one that was on DJ
Again,
Moore's.
the DJ Moore, I still want to talk about that throw. I can't. That throw, bro, I don't know why he ran 40 yards backwards. I'm like,
He
oh,
willingly,
that's the game.
well, it wasn't 40 yards. He ran 20 yards
20
backwards.
yards, my
He
bad.
willingly ran 20 yards backwards.
And I was like, well, that's game. Yeah, it is what it is. And then he threw it. I'm like, it is what it is. And then Komet caught it. I was speechless. I had no words. I didn't know what to say.
It was like the quarterback version of when Tariq Cohen did his big run
Oh.
in
Yes.
2018 when he went backwards 30 yards and somehow made it for a
Yeah,
touchdown.
I was in absolute disbelief. I couldn't believe it.
I will say,
It was unbelievable.
I was sharing this before. It was like, I thought the NFC West, again, we thought it's the best division in football. Outside of the Arizona Cardinals, they don't exist. But I thought the NFC champion was going to come from that division. Seattle is scary. They're playing probably the best football, best complimentary football over every team left. And the Rams were right there. Like, the Rams at their best is right there, okay? And then, the 49ers. But, yeah. I thought the NFC champion was going to be represented from that division, and it is. I mean, I have no shame in really losing to them. It would have been obviously really, really depressing if we lost to the Packers in the playoffs, but that didn't happen. But we got a playoff win. We got a division title. Got one of the best seasons of my life, and hopefully they can continue that going forward.
I said this before, like I wasn't really expecting a deep playoff run. We did. I'm not upset about it, but I feel like next year is kind of, and I'm seeing the schedule. I think the schedule is a little bit better than how it was this year. I mean, in hindsight, like how we saw it, like from week one, we thought our schedule was going to be pretty tough, and then like how the season played out,
Well, it's still projected to be pretty
Yeah.
tough next year.
I think it's one.
It's projected to be one.
It's one.
But I mean, that doesn't matter really.
Yeah.
Like a lot of that's just projecting.
last year was
a lot
two.
of
Yeah.
stuff can change.
I mean, last year the strength of schedule for us was 2,
yeah, I know.
and now and then it finished at like 28th or whatever. So it could be 1 and then end at 15th next year. I mean, who knows? But as of right now, it is technically the number 1 strength of schedule.
I do see a lot of winnable games on that schedule.
There
I
is.
see like
There
7
is.
or 8 winnable games.
I think we could take one from the Buccaneers.
I'm just
Yes.
hoping.
Okay, yeah.
Just
yeah.
split the division. That's all I'm asking. You can't just
You,
split.
yeah, you can't go under 500.
I do think we need to sweep the.
What they got? 2 and 4.
I
Yeah,
think the
yeah.
Vikings, yes.
We need to sweep the
Unless
Vikings.
JJ McCarthy actually decides to play football, then maybe we might have an issue. But
They get a serviceable
not gonna
backup.
No,
maybe.
They're gonna have like some
They get
quarterback
Daniel
competition.
Jones.
Nine's gonna
Or
come
Malik
into
Willis.
play. Nine's gonna come into play, guys. No.
Well, if we don't improve our team, right, with our defense and our defensive line and pass rush, like Zach's been complaining about,
It's going to be a lot of
we
money
are
maneuvering for
gonna
that.
probably win 8 or 9 games.
Yeah.
You know,
if we don't do anything, or if we do,
if we don't do anything.
Okay, yeah, I agree.
And the problem is I have with the Bears, just
Yeah.
Ryan Poles has been capable of fixing the holes on the team in one offseason. He fixed the offensive line in one offseason. That offensive line was brutal
with
last
Ben
year.
Johnson's help.
With Ben Johnson's help, we
Yes.
got Jonah Jackson, Joe Tooney, all these guys we got.
Maybe Dennis Allen's help.
Excellent offensive line. But the defensive line needs to be the priority this offseason because if we don't prioritize this defensive line, there's not going to be a chance the Bears could be Super Bowl contenders.
You got to at least like make offenses one-dimensional. See, with the Bears defense, like you can run on them, you can obviously pass on them if you give enough pass protection. Yeah, you got to take away one thing at least. You can't have like offenses, especially like teams like in our own division, the Packers, the Vikings, assuming they get a good quarterback behind them, and the Lions, obviously. Just too much high caliber talent on offense in this division to be like letting that happen. So you got to take at least one thing away. But I would prefer to them to get obviously juice in the pass rush.
Now, Ryan Poles, I know you watch this podcast, obviously. If you can hear me, Max Crosby or Myles Garrett, and you will make every Bears fan so happy.
Please, Max Crosby, get us out of my division.
We will make you a god.
Yes.
You gotta keep Montez Sweat. I mean, I know people
gotta keep
criticize
Sweat.
him, but
I
I mean, he is a nice number 2. Okay.
Yeah, I am one of the few people that says keep Sweat, and that reason why is because if you put Sweat outside of either Crosby, Garrett, or somebody else that's at least good, I think then you can have a good 1-2, and just I think that would be really nice.
This is where I say that a lot of Bears fans have a goldfish brain because, like, people are like, Montez Sweat was one of the worst people on our D-line last year. He was bad in the last, 4 games. Before that, he was getting, I think it was, 5 tackles a game, and 2 of them were for loss. Like, dude was all over the D. Him and Edmonds were the only people that you could consistently rely on to put any kind of pressure on there.
Yeah.
And then as you went further into the season, it kind of fell off, but
But again, they were double teaming.
I think he ended up with 11 sacks.
which isn't bad. Like,
It's
now imagine,
it's fine.
and that's
get
with
week
him
1
getting
through-
double teamed.
yeah.
Imagine now he's not getting double teamed because they have to double team Crosby.
If you give me weeks 1 through 10, Montez Sweat, that is a player I would gladly welcome back on the defensive line next year. Same with Edmonds, who was a lot better than people said he was. And I know Byard's a free agent.
He's always gonna
I'd
like
to
Edmonds
see
is
that.
always gonna be like a prime cut candidate. I hate to say it,
Yeah.
but he is.
I mean, he is, but I wish he
Byard,
wasn't. I
He's
don't
a
know.
great player.
Byard and Brisker. Are free.
It's a discussion to be had about our safeties.
We'll
Yes.
see what happens.
Zach, I have a hypothetical idea here for the Bears, maybe possibility. Do you go out and sign Trey Hendrickson and improve that defensive line?
Now I've seen some Bears fans
With
that
what
say
money?
that
How much would
because
it
they want to
cost?
move money around.
Maybe
That's when
like
they
tw-
open it up,
Maybe
and that's
pay
when
him
they
How much
28
money?
Maybe 28, 30 million. Pass rush market value.
22,
That's a lot
of money.
23 million a year
20
for like
for-
3 years.
You'd have to then get rid of more, I think, for that 20, because then to get
Yes.
to clear up
You
22.5
would. That's
in cap,
that's in that scenario.
and then
yes.
get 23. I feel like that
That's in that scenario.
Yeah.
Yes.
Sayonara.
Yeah.
Go down to Cancun.
Or we
Yeah,
trade
just
a
smoke
first round pick to get Daniil Hunter.
Cigars, drink Mountain
knows?
Dew.
Oh, well,
That'd
they
be
want.
worth
I really don't think the Texans are going to trade some of their defensive.
Well, the
players.
thing is,
bring
he's,
it
has,
down.
he's only has
Right.
1 year left on his contract. Didn't he
True,
only sign
but
1 year for
you also
30?
have to think in mind the Texans are probably going to have an all-in year. I mean, it's not going to work because I don't trust in C.J. Stroud, but they're going to have an all-in year, and we'll see what happens. But
Well, they're definitely not going to get rid of Will Anderson. Obviously.
no, they're definitely not.
No.
You can't get rid of
No.
him.
They're about to find
So,
out that
yeah.
boosting your offensive line with a mid-tier quarterback is not how that thing
They didn't even
works.
boost their offensive line.
And,
They got rid of their franchise left tackle for 2
rid of
seconds.
Yeah, but he was apparently a locker room cancer.
Yes,
Apparently,
yeah.
I mean, I don't know. I don't follow the Texans too hard. I'm sorry,
You
all
won't
the
find,
Texans fans listening, but
You won't find a report out there that says that. What was his name?
Larry Tunsil.
Larry Tunsil.
Yeah, you won't find a report out there that says Tunsil was like a fun guy to be.
He was a saint.
Yeah, a Saint Omni. Bring him back over. Yeah.
I do want to briefly ask who you got in the Super Bowl.
Sadly, and I hate to say this, Hunter,
Oh, I don't.
I
It's
got
kinda
Seahawks
obvious.
Patriots. Jared Stidham, if you can hear me, please have your Nick Foles arc. I will buy your jersey unironically.
That would be so funny.
Please.
I wish
I
that would
would
happen.
be so happy.
Jared Stidham, 400 yards incoming. I pray for it.
I wish that would happen.
Pope Leo, if you can hear me, please.
Sean Payton.
Oh yeah,
Please.
Oh yeah, Zappy, if you're watching, to which I know you will, if you win the Super Bowl, we are all gonna start jumping you out of nowhere.
That
Sean,
said, I do think the Patriots
cut.
have this one. I think they have an all-around.
I had
better
the
team.
Seahawks and Pats, and then I had the Seahawks.
I think the
winning
Rams
it.
might do it. And I want the Rams to win it because I think it will kind of solidify Matthew Stafford as an all-time.
By the way,
Yeah.
by the way, Stafford's the MVP.
Yeah. I will say this.
Yes.
Wait, he just.
He's got the best odds
Oh.
to win it.
So I will. Okay, I'll say this really quickly. Going back to the Broncos, I think if Bo Nix was playing, they easily win this game. And I mean easy. I do not trust the Patriots as much as other people trust the Patriots. I still trust them enough. I think they're a good team. Don't think as good as especially with how they played in the playoffs. They haven't been the same old Patriots of the regular season. But I also think it's helping because they're not playing the Jets or the Dolphins twice a year, and they're not playing the Titans and some of the easy players they've been playing. So obviously some struggle. Gonna get
And also, the Patriots' first 2 opponents, the Texans and Chargers, their
Herbert.
offensive lines
Not
do
the
not
best.
compare
And
to ours.
Stroud, and now
Not
they
the
play a
best.
backup quarterback.
Yeah, I really do think. I think the Broncos have a shot. I think it's be closer than most people think.
Here's what I think about it.
We
And
know-
I think
we all know what you think about
I
it. right?
think that I think the Seahawks beat the Rams, but
Yeah.
I really just I hate to say this, but I hope Jarrett Stidham just plays great.
I think Bo Nix, he led us to that comeback. He won, And then 26 minutes later comes the news that he broke his ankle and is out for the year.
Very sad.
That's like the third biggest heartbreak I've faced as a Broncos fan. I think number one, Super Bowl 48 versus the Seahawks. He got blown out. And then
with that defense,
yes, and then the Ravens 2012 when that safety Raheem Moore jumped too early and Jacoby Jones caught it. Because I think if we would have won that game, we would have went to the Super Bowl and won because it was going to be the 49ers, and I think the Broncos would have won that Super Bowl.
It's just crazy. Like I remember, I don't know. I'm a big Bo Nix believer. I know there's not many out there. I've listened to a lot of talk from a lot of people I know, even either back home or here, where they just do not respect Bo Nix as much as they respect some other quarterbacks in this league. I'm a Bo Nix believer. I'm actually a big fan of that defense. They have not played up to their standards the last few weeks, but I think they're still a very good defense. I love Nick Bonito on that D-line.
Yeah.
I think that Broncos team is a very, very good team, and it's a shame that Bo Nix went down. It really is.
I do want to say, like, that entire quarterback draft,
Well,
minus JJ,
the two guys that wear 9.
JJ and
minus
Penix.
JJ and
Michael
Penix, but like Caleb Williams, Bo Nix,
Jane
Drake Daniels, Drake May.
Jaden Daniels. That was just a really good draft class. I mean, because Jaden Daniels went to the NFC Championship last year.
Yes.
Well, Bo Nix could have went this year, but he
technically,
He
I'm going to say he
technically
technically
did.
I'm going to say he did.
he won the game.
He was the quarterback on the field that
he
led him to
didn't
that.
play, but he was the quarterback that at least led them to that game.
Yeah, I mean they got the first round bye, that draft class is just really good.
Yeah.
I still think.
Which,
Caleb
by the
has-
way, fun fact, stat out there, we're paying Russell Wilson dead cap more than we are my entire offensive weaponry.
Yeah.
You're still
When
paying.
does that dead cap end?
And this year.
That's good.
We're paying him $32 million, and like the rest of our total combined is like $31.7 million.
Man, you
It's a
must
tragedy.
you must really hate Russell Wilson
Yes.
with a
What,
passion.
what does he have to praise him for?
Honestly,
That man talked garbage after like we benched him for good reason. We benched him.
honestly, it was the right move to cut him because the Broncos have benefited from it. But
Obviously.
from that quarterback class,
Thank you, Walmart.
I think Caleb's
know.
going to be the best quarterback in this class.
Because Caleb's your guy, we know.
It doesn't matter to me, to be honest. I
I know.
just want my
I
quarterback
think you can say whatever you want.
to do one thing, and that's win games. That's all I want a quarterback to do.
Yeah, but
Winning solves everything.
Yeah,
It really does.
Yeah, but I
Yeah.
hope the Patriots don't win because Ryan Zappy Golf is
Ryan
gonna is gonna start rage baiting all of us.
Oh, he always does.
And, yeah, but
Yes.
it's gonna be like he's gonna make me mad doing it.
He is going to be
He makes everybody
unbearable
mad.
for the whole semester. He
Maybe
is going
not-
to be unbearable.
He
Maybe not
lives
for
in
me.
my
I don't see
dorm.
him that
I have.
often,
He lives in my dorm. I would have to literally.
Does he actually?
Yes, he does. He literally does. We're
It'll
both
be
in
every
Neuer.
day.
Because like during the regular season, he will always be like in the lobby with his TV watching
course,
the Patriots
yes.
games.
Yeah, that's him.
We cannot have the Patriots winning the Super Bowl. We can't. We can't.
Jarrett Stidham, please save us.
Please
Or
save
somebody.
us.
Somebody.
Sean,
Again.
whatever. I know you
I'll
do
get
a
your
little
jersey.
To all the
Homegrown-
students in Ball State right now that are doing this podcast, please, Jared
Please
Stidham,
smoke something
play
good.
good. Please, for the love of God.
I don't.
Our
My
Ball
thing
State
is,
campus
look,
will be
it's
destroyed.
looking like the Seahawks are going to be the favorite to go to the Super Bowl.
Yes.
I still feel like the Seahawks are going to be exposed as frauds. Please, the Super Bowl.
Really?
May it not be the Super Bowl. Where
You
they
think
get
they're
exposed.
frauds?
I think.
they are.
Do you think they're
no one
frauds,
ever
or do you think
talks-
Sam Darnold's a
I think
fraud?
Sam Darnold's a fraud.
But you like their defense, though.
I like their defense,
Okay.
and I think they have. I think
Bro,
Jackson.
Yeah.
again,
Yeah, I
Bears.
think
If the Bears
Jackson
had the Seahawks defense.
Oh, that team's
Ooh.
winning the Super Bowl.
I
That's
think
nasty.
Jackson Smith and
So you
Jigba
just
should
don't.
be-
Okay, that makes
yeah.
more sense. That
He
you
should
don't
be.
trust
He
Darnold.
should be Offensive Player of the Year.
I don't think Darnold's a fraud. He shows poise. I like him.
I just think that he's a.
It's a nice comeback story if you can call it that.
Quarterback, but he's not a franchise quarterback.
I think
will
Sam
say,
Darnold is a
he
franchise
He did
quarterback.
play good against the Niners.
Here's what he is. He's
Then
a
again,
good.
They don't have a defense either.
Here's
so-
what he
Yeah,
is. Here's
see-
what he is. He's a good team quarterback because unlike Geno Smith, who turns the ball over like it's pennies on a dollar. Because he took over for Geno Smith, okay,
Yeah.
and they signed him, and what they want him to do is again have a good complementary run game, which they have. Him launch bombs to JSN, which he does, and their defense to hold it down, which they do fair amount,
And Rashid Shaheed.
basically every week. And then also, Shaheed becoming Devin Hester again. all of a
Yes.
sudden in the playoffs. Kickoff return touchdowns.
Man, what was
So
that
yeah, they
at
just
Ron's
all around have a
fantasy
very
team?
good team, and I'm a big fan of Mike McDonald. I'm not really as big of a fan of defensive minds, but he is one of the best ones out there.
He
and
did
obviously
hire a
it
good
works.
OC. He
Which-
did hire a good OC.
This is crazy. If somehow either the Seahawks or the Patriots make the Super Bowl, is Sean Payne defensive minded by chance?
No, he's
is he
not.
offensive?
He's offensive
So
minded.
this will be the first time since Super Bowl 53, 2019 Patriots Rams that a defensive head coach is in the Super
Yeah,
Bowl.
that's why
Wait
he
a minute.
that's why he smokes weed.
Wait a minute. I'm
So he
confused.
clears
Wait a
mind
minute. I think it's
before a
Super
game.
Bowl 49.
No, Super Bowl 50,
yeah.
53 because that's when defensive mind.
Wait. Who was on Super Bowl 53?
Bill Belichick.
And who else?
Sean McVay. I'm just saying one defensive
just
mind.
saying one.
No,
Okay,
one defensive mind.
Okay.
There's
No,
one
that-
person.
Okay.
One defensive mind in a Super Bowl, and the last one to win it was 2019. If it's Mike Vrabel and Mike McDonald in the Super Bowl, that's two in one.
It's technically team culture versus defense.
Well, yeah.
So,
technically,
yeah.
I
But
think-
Mike Vrabel, I'd still say is more defensive minded than him.
He probably
he played
linebacker.
defense.
Yeah.
Vrabel.
So yeah.
Very happy to see Vrabel succeeding in his new environment so quickly. I was afraid it was
I
going to
thought
take
he.
a couple more
I thought the
seasons to get
Patriots
fired.
should have hired him last year. To be honest.
Yeah, I actually had the I was one of the few people that believed in the. I think the Patriots had 11 or 12 wins this
12
year.
wins, I think.
Yeah, 12.
I think I'm at 12 because I just thought the schedule was so easy that they got 12 easy wins. The rest of the games they'll lose.
They literally beat the whole draft class for this year.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but like can't. I mean,
Well, hang on. They didn't beat Bo Nix because he's not out there.
So, would you call this like a? I would say this is kind of like a fluke run that the Patriots are going on. If they win
Speaking
this-
of Patriots, the Bears play the Patriots next year at home, so we're gonna see.
So do we. We
is
play
that
the Patriots
schedule
too.
We'll see.
Yeah, the schedule's already out.
Yeah, well, we just know who they're playing.
Well,
Yeah,
we know who we're playing.
Look on the Bears Instagram;
They-
it's like a pinned.
Like you can look up the 2027 schedule. It already says.
Yeah,
Eh,
we play. It's a tough schedule,
I
but
don't
yeah,
really
we
wanna
play the
go.
Patriots.
Depending on where you finish in the divisions, like where you.
I
play.
do. The part of me hopes the Patriots win so we can get that week 1 game.
Thursday night football if they
Yeah,
win
yeah.
against the. Would they put the Bears? I guess they could.
What about Sunday Night Football?
I think Bears. I think
No,
Bears.
the
Patriots
first
are-
game is like the Super Bowl winner is Thursday
Yes,
night.
now as the Super Bowl winners are.
If
usually
they
got
play
the-
one of the if they play like one of the if they play like obviously their Super Bowl matchup or one of the usually they play like one of the opponents that they have it on the schedule from the championship games. So that'd be one of the Seahawks or the Rams actually if they have it on their schedule.
Yeah.
But the Bears are going to get like 6 primetime games this year. So it doesn't matter to me because they're going to be on primetime a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah. Bears will probably be on at least 5 times again.
Yeah.
They always are.
I do have a question. Like, who do you think is going to be Coach of the Year? Either Mike Vrabel
Coach of the
or
year.
Ben
Oh,
I
Johnson?
think it's going to be
It's
Ben
Vrabel.
Johnson or Liam Cohen.
Well,
Liam
I
Cohen.
think it's Vrabel.
I'm gonna be unbiased here. So, I think it's 3 guys, and I don't think it's close. I think it's Liam Cohen, Ben Johnson, Mike Vrabel. Those
Yeah.
are the biggest turnarounds. It's those 3.
Yeah.
Honestly, I think it's a little foolish to give it to Ben Johnson just because of how those final 2 games were called. Well, I mean, obviously he'd scored 38, but the final game specifically, I think, kind of killed it.
Yeah.
Compared to Vrabel and Cohen, kind of finished out the season strong. So that's the only reason I think they might pass on Vrabel. I'm thinking from a voter's perspective, they're looking at those final 2 games, but I could also see him being like, Bears got a lot of viewership. Obviously, 41 million people watched Bears Rams. It was the most watched divisional game in the history of the NFL, if I saw that right.
Mm-hmm.
And so they may be like, viewership, we'll give it to Ben Johnson. But I can also just be seeing them giving it to Vrabel. I think Vrabel
Vrabel had the better season.
is the better. Yeah, I think so
It's
too.
Vrabel or Ben Johnson. It's
Vrabel
one
or
of those two,
And maybe Cohen, but I mean,
not the. I know it's a regular season, like all these are regular season awards, but
yeah, I don't care about playoffs.
I mean, even then, like I feel like there is some level of like how you do in the playoffs to an extent, and the way that the Jags went out, which is against the Bills in the first round, might sour
Small
some
market
people.
team, baby.
Might sour some people. So
Maybe.
I'm just saying I don't care really. Although I have seen that if you win Coach of the Year, it's not really the best thing.
Man, Matt
Like
Nagy.
team success wise going forward.
Yeah, the last
I'm
time-
just saying.
the last
not saying it's a
time-
president, but I'm just
The
saying.
last time a Bears head coach won Coach of the Year in their
Yeah.
first season was Matt Nagy, 2018. So
He won that? Oh, well,
He
yeah.
did
he
first
Can
year.
you
yeah.
believe he was almost the Titans head coach? That they
Almost.
Just
Yes.
hired? He was the second
Yeah, I
option.
believe it.
Why did he
Because
Yeah.
their GM is from the Chiefs.
Yeah, he is.
He made the
How?
playoffs twice in 4 years.
Here's
And
what,
won 2 Super Bowls.
Now he's not.
technically.
Now, obviously,
Oh,
they didn't.
yes.
They didn't pick him. They chose Robert Saleh,
The
which, by the
biggest-
way, I think it was a good
I
hire.
think it's a good hire.
Good
I
hire.
like it a lot.
here's what I think who should win Coach of the Year. I think it's either gonna be Mike McDonald, who that turnaround. That turnaround in Seattle was honestly incredible.
I don't
mean,
think so because
here's the reason why I say that, because
They don't ever talk to him about him. That's why.
he's done such a great job just turning around and taking over for Pete Carroll and just turned that whole Seattle culture around. Seattle is back on the map. I'd give it to Mike McDonald probably as a hot take.
Who else?
Also, Liam Cohen I think deserves Coach of the Year because the reason why I say that is because Trevor Lawrence was supposed to be considered a generational quarterback. And he literally just turned, and the Jaguars have been dysfunctional for a very long time. And the fact that he turned Trevor Lawrence's career around and made him, he was like an MVP candidate. Because weren't a lot of people saying that he was like kind of like a bust because he just didn't have like the right coaching.
I was one of them, yeah.
And he had the right coach, and and he turned that whole Jaguars organization around.
Yeah. But what about Vrabel?
The thing is, with Vrabel's a good coach. I think he's a great coach. I think he did a great job with the Patriots this season. But like, the schedule was kind of like the easy thing for me because I knew the Patriots were going to be a good team. I didn't expect the Jaguars to be this good this season.
No, I don't think anyone did.
I think should come down to
Here's why I think it's like Ben Johnson and Liam Cohen. Obviously, Kyle Shanahan's the outlier in this because I don't think nobody's picking him.
No.
I don't think it's going to go to Mike McDonald because last year he was the first-year head coach and they went 10-7, missed the playoffs. And as for Vrabel, he's a good coach, but he has been a head coach before. Yeah. And when I look at Coach of the Year, I think they give it to like first-year head coaches first for like who have the most success, and that's why I lean more towards Ben Johnson or Liam Cohen.
I would also argue Kyle Shanahan. I mean, he's not going to win it, but he should be at least in the discussion. I think he is. Is he?
Yes.
Yeah, Kyle Shanahan.
Yeah,
because with how many injuries you had on that defensive front, and how many injuries just all year, having Mac Jones come in, still throw for 300 yards. You had all these things. I mean, when you have Mac Jones having like Pro Bowl level performances, throwing 300 yards a game, like that's when it's like, yeah, maybe you should at least be talked about and maybe even put in over some coaches.
Yeah. I would say, like, when we talk about turnarounds, like, Ben Johnson, like, he turned it around in 1 year. Because, like, how dysfunctional, like, being with Matt Eberflus, I don't even know how we got almost 3 years out of him.
Yeah.
But, like, how dysfunctional it was. Vrabel, like, you know, it was dysfunctional, but it was still, like, it wasn't as bad as like the Bears, because the Bears they did their job, the GM did their job. It was just it all came down to coaching, because like how it went last year and how it went this year, like you got some key pieces, but but the main thing you got is a new coach and you make the playoffs. It's pretty much what it was.
If we had like Matt Eberflus this year, we're not winning any of those Packers games.
No, we're not.
We're not beating the Commanders. We're probably not beating the Giants.
You're going 5-12 again.
You're going probably 5-12.
Well, you're gonna lose.
You're losing a lot of those games.
Well, you're gonna lose all your road games on Sunday, because he went
That is
0-18 on Sunday road games.
Did he win one? Did he win one, or was that near the end?
He won one. His last one.
Yes, if I remember correctly.
I want to give a shout out to someone in particular. I want to give a shout out to George McCaskey
because he watches the podcast.
Because he said go get him, and we got Ben Johnson, and I want to thank George McCaskey for that, because
Finally,
he has done a terrible job running his team, and he finally got it right for once.
Hang on, it wasn't him. It was mostly his.
He was technically was the owner.
He just got to do what he always wanted to do. You know what that is? Laid back and just like watch someone else take it over.
And thanks for pushing that Packers fan out of that photo. That was pretty funny.
Yeah, that too. He's just really living his best life.
Yeah,
that's just really it.
But now we're gonna go into some baseball.
Oh.
Who do you want to start with, the White Sox or the Cubs?
White
I
Sox.
say- wait, White Sox? Okay,
because
that's fine.
they had the first like signing.
Let's
Really,
get it out the way.
Okay.
They got rid of Luis Robert.
W.
Thank you. I'm not even a White Sox fan, and I'm happy about this.
Thank God.
Man, this is great. They got rid of Luis Robert. Man, what are you gonna say about that?
So, I'll
Go
start.
ahead.
I'm a huge White Sox fan. Luis Robert was promised to White Sox fans everywhere, and I know Grant's going to agree with this one. He was, and this is what they were saying, he was the Cuban Mike Trout. His defensive ability and his hitting ability, he was promised that. 2020 was good, but obviously it was a COVID year, didn't have to play. 2021, he was good, but injured. 2022 was good, but injured. 2023 was his breakout season. It was an all-star year that I would argue his best moment was when he hit that home run, go-ahead home run in the 9th inning against the Cubs at Wrigley, and he did this to the crowd. That was awesome. But that was his best moment. 2024, injured. I saw he hit .223 with like 14 home runs.
Yeah.
And was just not very good. Good defensively, not good offensively. This year he hit .224 with a .294 on base, and he had 14 home runs. He got slightly worse again on base, and he hit slightly better by .01.
And his defense sucked because
And his
he was
defense
banged
wasn't
up.
as good.
Yeah.
And he was injured. Again, he could never stay healthy. He needed to go. And there's a lot of White Sox fans that are furious. They're like, how could you trade a guy with that potential? One, he doesn't care. He might go and he might start carrying on the Mets. He might. I'm not going to take that risk of him potentially becoming good and pay him that salary when we just went out with that salary and got a pretty good closer / bullpen arm.
If you
with that
took
money.
away his name and the fact that he gets 25 steals a year, White Sox fans would have been asking for this guy to get
But he
thrown
doesn't
out
get
the
on base to
street.
get those steals, and that's a huge piece for it.
Exactly right.
He
Yeah.
can't. If you're not getting on
He
base,
doesn't
then the
walk.
steals don't matter.
Yeah, he doesn't have an OPP. He doesn't walk. I don't know. I mean, in the second half, he did perform better.
He was better.
He hit like 289 with less home runs because I think
Mm-hmm.
his manager wanted him to go more contact based. But I just don't buy it.
No,
I don't buy
it either.
him sticking to that. I don't know. I don't think that we fleeced the Mets. I don't think they fleeced us. But
no, not at all. I
don't know.
I saw somewhere where there was a projected Mets lineup. They had him batting 7th. So we got rid of a 7th hitter. That's Benintendi in our lineup. He's a 7th hitter for us.
Yeah.
Like, that doesn't concern me. Like, we have so many... Like, okay, is our outfield not the best? No. But is this the year we're going to win the World Series? No.
No.
It's another rebuilding year. Next year and the next year, you have to hope, okay, maybe we start making progressions. Not to make it, but at least come close.
I think next year you have a good season.
It's going to be... I think it's a 70-win team, maybe.
And I think
right now.
Luis
I'd
Angel
say, like...
Acuna,
Oh, yeah.
even though last year in the majors
He was-
his line was pretty bad, he's the guy that we got back in the trade.
Yeah,
from,
he can play
Robert.
center field.
Yeah,
Like,
he can play center
He's
field.
a guy who can steal.
for a year.
Yeah, he can steal. He can actually hit for average if you ignore last year in the majors. He was in the minors before
he
that
hit-
and was
yeah.
hitting like 290 routinely.
Yes.
Like, dude's a good prospect
Yeah.
who had a bad 200 at bats in the
Yeah.
majors.
But and so like I'm not like it's been a good offseason, I think, for the White Sox. Obviously they just signed I'm blanking on his name.
Sir
Sir
Anthony
Anthony
Murakami?
Dominguez.
Anthony
Sir Anthony
Dominguez.
Dominguez.
New closer.
They signed
perhaps.
Anthony K out of Japan, who was not very good in the majors, but he was good in Japan. It worked for Fetty. It might work for this. And then they obviously signed Murakami. Excellent signing. That is, I think he's going to be a guy that's going to hit 30 home runs next year minimum.
Will be crucial. For
I am
the offense.
very, very excited about that. And then they just signed. There's one more guy I'm blank. Oh, Sean Newcomb, who's going to be, I think, a decent 4th starting pitcher for us. So, a pretty good offseason. I mean, look, he's 1 year, $4 million. It's a trade deadline piece. That's how I view it.
That's how most of it.
If he does good, we trade him. If he
Yeah.
doesn't, then he's gone in May.
Yeah, it's really it's not it's a nothing for me. It's $4 million. It's a cheap deal. It is what it is. I like the signing.
I wish I
But-
had $4 million.
But so the way I'm looking at it, the White Sox have had a good offseason. You have to hope that Montgomery takes that next step, which I think he will. I think you're going to have to hope a lot of the young guys can keep taking those next steps. And I think they will. So I think they've had a good offseason. I think Robert, it's a good trade. I mean, not like it's good in the sense of like you got a lot back, but good in the sense of it was time to move on from that era, that failed rebuild era. In my opinion, I've been saying this for years. Once they got rid of Vaughn, it was time to get rid of Robert. And the reason I said that was because that 2021 era was filled with laziness and just not caring about the team at all.
Yeah.
Well,
We stepped out.
it's also Tony La Russa.
And him too. That was his fault for mostly giving him that mindset. But I didn't want our young guys right now to be around a mindset of, oh, we don't care, we're lazy. I didn't want them to be around that mindset. That's why I kind of wanted those guys to go as well.
Yeah, we stepped out of COVID with too much overconfidence in ourselves
Yeah.
to a point that they thought that if they tried half as hard as they normally would, they'd get the same results, which 99.99% of the time does not happen in anything ever.
No.
So, yeah, it makes sense that we were going to have negative results, and I completely agree that we should have moved on from him earlier, but I'm glad that we've finally found the sense to do it now.
Getting rid of Luis Robert was obviously it was time to move on. Obviously, he never really lived up to that Mike Trout potential like I wanted him to, because it would have been nice because the White Sox have been bad for a long time. But also, that 2021 White Sox team, it brought like some excitement to fans and stuff like that. But like, the Jerry Reinsdorf and the ownership of the White Sox really ruined the managerial hire. Weren't there like really good hires like AJ Hinch and Alex Cora, which I know with the Astros cheating scandal and everything, you didn't want to bring those guys in, but those guys would have been really good managers to bring in to help with those young guys.
Over Tony La Russa.
Over Tony La Russa, who never really, even Dusty Baker could have really helped with that.
Yeah, honestly, yeah.
And it's just sad that this rebuild failed. It's probably one of the most failed rebuilds in MLB history, in my opinion.
Well, recent history, yes.
Yes,
Recent,
and
there's a long line of failed rebuilds in the past, but yeah, in recent history,
You can even
there was
argue
a lot of potential.
Baltimore
there, and we
now.
screwed it.
Baltimore now.
I'm not ready to give up. I'm not ready to give up on Baltimore with their rebuild because they get
We'll
a power
see.
hitter.
Well, that if
Yeah, they
that-
did
okay,
get.
Give them
This
one
is-
more year.
Yeah, one more year, but that's if everyone bounces back. But again, we'll get back to that. You know.
The
And it's-
king of second and third chances is Grant Godwin. You know, he never wants to give up on anyone.
Yeah.
He never does until it's too late.
Yeah, and it just sucks that that they had to get rid of the core. I mean, it was promising, but unfortunately, baseball is a sport of regression.
Well, it's also a sport of failure.
Yeah.
Trial and error.
I will never forget that 2021 team. I'll never forget, obviously, the Field of Dreams walk-off. Instant, my favorite game I've ever watched. The Brian Goodwin walk-off. Ball knowers know, remember Brian Goodwin. The Luis Garcia walk-off, the Luis Garcia home run in the playoffs. Even the Gavin Sheets home run in the playoffs in Game 4, which they lost 10-1. But seeing him and hit that home run, go up 1-0. They're moments I'll never forget that always replay in my head whenever I think about that team. Even the Yasmani Grandal walk-off against the Rays in 2021 when they became the best team in baseball officially with the best record. It was just it's a season I'll never forget. It's a bunch of moments I'll never forget. And the fact that they only got that whole team got 2 total playoff wins and 2 series lost, it's just very sad and disappointing. But it's a new era in the South Side, and you just have to hope that they can figure it out this time instead unlike
Gage
last
and
time.
You also got the number 1 pick.
And we have the number 1
yeah.
pick. That's awesome too.
Gage, I have a question to ask you. Do you think it was the White Sox should have moved on from Frank Renteria? Who was that guy? The guy that the previous manager.
No, they shouldn't have.
No, they
Rick
should
Renteria.
have. And
Rick Renteria.
They should
Rick
have.
Renteria.
And the reason why in 2020 I wanted him to go younger because Renteria's the way he managed. If you remember the 2020 postseason, the way he managed Game 3 with a 2-0 lead, I think it was. Disastrous. The bullpen management wasn't great. Nothing he did in that game was good. And I was like, okay, maybe the playoffs aren't meant for him. They were trying to follow the blueprint of the Cubs when the Cubs fired Renteria and then went to
Joe Madden.
Joe Madden. They went then to Joe Madden. They were trying to do the same thing, but instead of choosing a right guy, they chose La Russa. So it's not a fact of
Yeah, I wanted to say, what happens if they chose Joe Madden instead of Tony La Russa?
I probably still wouldn't have been great because I know he wasn't great on the Angels.
He
But,
still could've got
but if
results.
they went with AJ Hinch or something like that, that would have been so much better. I do think that team would have been a lot better than what they were.
Well, I will say there are coaches who that can coach superstars World Series teams. Tony La Russa is not a World Series team. Joe Madden, he's not. I think the reason why it didn't work on the Angels is because they're trying to put in somebody who wins World Series on a rebuilding team, and that's not what you do. That's why he's trying to. Yeah.
But they also had Shohei and Mike Trout, so they were just trying to capitalize.
That
on what they
organization
had.
also is just dysfunctional.
It's just a bad disorganization in
Yeah.
general.
Yeah. But
It's pretty bad.
yeah. But I will say though, I think that there is some hope for the White Sox. I told my dad this. I'm pretty sure that y'all might go. Maybe.
Wait,
yeah,
is your dad a White Sox fan?
Yeah, he's a White Sox.
So how are you a Cubs fan?
Oh, I was a Cubs fan since 2011.
Oh. So wait. So what are you
Someone's
saying? I
gonna
gotta hear this.
But no, I was gonna say is that I do think like y'all might go above 500.
Really?
I think probably
I
not.
disagree.
Probably not. Probably
give
like
Grant
one.
hope.
Probably one game above. Like I
It's
still
like
think.
82.
Yeah, 82.
Don't give Grant hope.
81. Y'all might go
82,
thinking-
80.
somewhere
I'm thinking-
around 500.
I'm thinking 71 to 75 is a very
Just
fair.
do the Cubs special,
I do
83 and
think
79.
Y'all probably gonna get like the 3rd seed in the division.
Yeah, if we're touching
No.
80, I'd be shocked.
Yeah, I'd be shocked.
Honestly,
Yeah.
I just
I
don't
think
we're there.
71,
I don't think
75,
shock's
but
the right thing. I think ecstatic it would be the right thing.
But I would say
I
this.
would be perplexed.
But-
And Yeah.
This team's going to be so much more fun to at least watch than
Yeah.
last year. At least the first half of last year. Because that first half, they had none of the prospects.
The second
You know,
half, though,
The second half was good.
because like I went to the Crosstown Classic.
awesome.
I went to the first game where they obliterated us. But like
Classic
they had Montgomery tearing the ball off.
Yeah.
Wait, was that
Um,
Showtime Managa on the mound?
Yes, that
yeah,
was. That
Yeah,
was
that makes
that's
sense.
when they
That
just,
guy-
yeah, he gave up like
Second half,
Yeah,
hell.
he gave up like 5 runs in the first inning that game.
awesome.
Yes.
But you had Colson Montgomery going off,
young
Lenine
guy.
Sosa going off. It was just a hit parade. Who else went off? Mydroff.
I know
went off.
Mydroff hit a home run in
Yeah.
the second pitch of the game.
Yeah, that's gonna be something special. And
Like, yeah.
I mean, because Montgomery is debatably in the second half the best third baseman hitter.
Shortstop.
Shortstop.
Oh, shortstop?
Yeah, whatever
Okay.
he plays.
Okay, well, the
DH.
shortstop hitter in the league that in the second half.
Oh, yeah.
And Lenine Sosa was like the best second base hitter in the league,
Mm-hmm.
after in the second half.
But I have seen rumors they might trade Sosa, and the only reason they might is just because they have no room for him on their roster.
Yeah.
If you,
Just put him at DH?
me and no, that's the issue. We have a DH already.
Oh, yeah,
Murakami
yeah,
can
yeah,
play
Murakami
DH,
can
and then
play
Miguel
DH.
Vargas,
Murakami.
and then Miguel Vargas. You see, like we have and you can't get rid of Benintendi, or else that would open a spot for him. The problem is there's too much. I never thought I'd say it, but there's too much talent at second base for him, because they're going to play Mydroff over him,
Yeah.
most likely,
What I was-
unless they split.
What I was hearing is that they want to have Murakami run it at third and put Cuero
Yes.
at DH.
Now, see, that's not bad. Because that's the problem. If they put Cuero at DH, then, again, that doesn't leave room for Sosa, because they're going to put Mydroff at second, Montgomery at short, and then most likely if they put, let's even say they put Murakami at first, well, then that puts Vargas at third.
What do you do with Kyle Teal?
Right.
What happens
Kyle
with
Teal
him?
plays catcher.
Yeah,
He
catcher.
plays-
But
Because,
Qu-
Sosa,
what about Cuero?
Cuero
though?
plays DH.
Cuero plays DH,
And then
okay.
that means that leaves no room for Sosa, because I don't think he could play center
I mean,
field.
you could keep Sosa on as kind of a Willie Castro type, where
Yeah.
he subs in for whoever
Utility.
needs a day off. Yeah, which would happen
But
relatively often. We don't have a ton of people
then-
that are like,
but-
I need him in that spot.
But then here's the issue then is that then he's just sitting on the bench and his trade value goes down. If you're just going to do that, might as well sign a utility guy and then trade Sosa for any prospects you can get.
Yeah.
But that's just my thought process. And I love Sosa. He's actually my favorite player on the team just because I think his name's funny and Chief Keef has that song. But
they
People
all
love Sosa.
people love Sosa. I love Sosa. But so it's going to be a heartbreaking day when he does get traded, because I can no longer make that joke. I can no longer, whenever he hits a home run, post it to my story and put that song. But
You probably could.
And you still could. You just
Yeah, you
wouldn't be in
could
a White
still.
Sox uniform.
but so we'll see what happens. But again, I do like the progress of this team and where it's heading so far. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we're gonna talk about the Cubs.
Cubs.
Here. So the Cubs, some 2 big moves. When the Bears won, when
yes,
the Bears won that playoff game, that was just like the
Whoa,
best.
hang on. The Bears were losing that playoff game.
game and then
And then,
Yeah.
and then the Cubs. It was breaking news.
I think the Cubs were like accepting that the Bears were gonna lose, and it's like let's give everyone some hope instead of like, oh, we got Bregman, but we got Bregman. We signed him for what, like
165.
165 for 5
years.
years.
175.
5 years, something like that.
Yes.
Yeah, but we also got Cabrera. I don't have a problem with Cabrera. The only problem
Oh, yeah,
is
Boy, I love Cabrera.
He's a good pitcher.
He's got
He's a
3
good
years
pitcher.
left of arbitration.
That's a good move.
I just don't like what we gave up for him.
I get
Oh,
that.
Owen, you just don't
Trust
like
me,
giving
you-
up Owen
you
Casey.
watch
I
him
didn't-
pitch across a full season,
Because-
you'll be fine with what
Yeah,
you
you'll
do.
be fine.
Well, yeah, but because
Do you
like,
really want like another full season of Showtime and Naga
Yeah, you
being
kind of
the
need
one
a one.
or the
I
2?
don't know, because I don't like Shota in right field.
Shota.
That's
Oh,
that's
Not
Seiya.
Shota.
Seiya Suzuki.
Seiya Suzuki. Shota.
Well, neither do
Japanese players
I
messed
mean,
up.
your one right now is probably Matthew Boyd, no?
Boyd.
I. No, it's Cade Horton.
It's Cade Horton, but
Horton,
he's
yes.
injured, and
Oh, no, he's healthy.
technically, John,
Is
Justin,
he gonna be the ace?
Healthy now.
He's healthy.
like,
Cade Horton's
Yes,
healthy.
he's healthy right now.
You've probably got
Justin Steele.
Steele's the one that's hurt.
Yeah.
He's
Just
coming
looking,
He's coming back.
Just
Right
looking-
now, you've probably got a Horton, Cabrera, Boyd, Shota,
Tyone.
Tyone.
rotation, which is not bad at all.
not
apparently
bad.
they're still trying to get Zach Gallen
Yeah.
Zach Gallen.
as well.
What?
Okay, you can never have
You
enough
know what that
pitching,
means,
okay?
Grant? The Cubs are finally going into the luxury tax if they get Zach Allen. But that could also mean that
okay.
Nico Horner gets traded.
Can you please
No.
ask me?
He ain't gonna
Please
get
answer
traded.
this question, Hunter. Why couldn't the Cubs just do what the Dodgers did with Kyle Tucker and just re-sign
They're not
him?
paying him $60 million.
Well, number one, they're not going to give a $64 million signing bonus like instantly for
Ricketts
like
is
the
never
production.
going to do that.
For the production he gave.
Also, you guys got the Cubs got Bregman, who I would argue had a better season than Kyle Tucker. I mean, okay, first half no, but second half Kyle Tucker was bad.
He also
was
played through-
costing his team games,
He also played through an injury.
which was what cost him games.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which
Yeah,
okay,
you got
I-
to think if he gets injured again, it ain't gonna
You're
look
screwed.
good.
His
But-
mindset also, Kyle Tucker's mindset also, I heard, is not the best.
So I'm thinking logically here. I really do think Bregman is a not massive upgrade, but it's a very good upgrade. I think for
Over
the Cubs.
Montreal, yeah.
At least over third
no,
base.
well,
yeah.
for third base,
Yes.
but I just think in terms of like losing Tucker, I think Bregman's a nice.
It's just like going into the offseason, you know what the Cubs needed to do? They needed to shore up their bullpen again because, well, half the guys they had out there were free agents.
Mhm.
They needed a high caliber arm, and they needed, if they could, a bat that could solidify a position of weakness. And, well, if you look at that, check. Essentially. I mean, I don't know how the relievers are going to do because no one does. Bullpen
one
is so
does.
bullpen is so fluky year in, year out.
Yeah.
I know they still have.
Unless you're the Milwaukee Brewers,
They
apparently,
still have hope on Daniel Palencia.
as being the closer. Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
It's literally only because he just throws a 98 mile per hour fastball,
Yeah.
100 mile per hour fastball. That's
Yeah,
it.
That's
Yes.
pretty much it.
Yeah, I really don't get that. I really don't.
Yeah.
Okay, but
he's the only
you know,
guy.
just-
He's the only guy in Jed's bullpen that throws over 95.
yeah. Well, I think Phil Madden can touch it, like 95, 96. So just looking at the offseason, just from an outer perspective, obviously, it's everything you could have wanted. And, you know, the Cubs landed a semi-big fish. Okay, he is 31 years old. But it solidifies a position that you just didn't know anything about because Matt Shaw, while he was great defensively, he was really rough at the plate.
He was better the second half.
Yeah, he was better than
Oh, he was, but he was also rough in the playoffs too. So, so it's just everything you wanted. I give it like an A-, B+ offseason. I'd probably do the same thing about the White Sox, given the White Sox and what they're known. When opportunities come like the Murakami signing, where it just falls, seemingly he doesn't have a market. You got to take advantage. They did.
They did.
So it's been an exciting offseason, I feel like, for both Chicago baseball teams, which you can't say that often.
I don't know. The Cubs to me, I think they've had a good offseason so far. I really like getting Cabrera. I really, really like getting Bregman. I think that's going to be a move that people are going to be talking about as one of the best moves of the offseason halfway through the year on like MLB Network and on ESPN and all that stuff.
I gotta say it though. I want Ian Happ to get off this team.
Well, yeah, no, I'll give you. Like, I can't do anything
Yeah.
about that one.
I'd
Send
rather
him to
like
Portillo's.
sit him in the Jason Hayward role and have
Yeah.
Kevin Alcantara.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't do anything about that one.
Because he's just okay. You bats
okay.
245.
Yeah,
He's
that's-
not really a home run hitter.
No, he's not.
He's not a clutch hitter.
No.
He's an okay outfielder.
Yeah.
I mean, like, you don't really need him out there that much. So,
Yeah.
I don't know.
I'm excited to see Ballesteros take a real
Yeah.
shot in the
DH.
starting
In the
lineup.
DH.
That would be
As DH,
interesting.
I don't really
he is a
mind.
hitter.
Really good
He's
prospect.
a hitter.
He
yeah.
is a hitter. How he did against the Brewers was really good.
Yeah.
You think he's going to be the starting catcher, or is it going to be a catching?
No,
DH.
it's gonna be Kelly.
He's going to be the starting
Kelly's-
DH. And
yeah.
I think
it's gonna be-
Kelly
Kelly's
was solid
starter.
all year last year.
as a glove.
It's him and Amaya. The one, two.
Amaya, yeah.
He's the back.
As a
What's
glove,
Kelly's
you
the
can't argue
Carson
against
Kelly.
Kelly.
Yeah, but what's Kelly's stats really going to look like?
Well,
Realistic.
Kelly was
Well,
really
in April they're gonna look
Well,
very
yeah.
good.
Yeah,
In
it's-
April, he was
yeah.
like excellent. He was unbelievable, and then we don't talk about that second half.
Carson
You know?
Bonds.
He'll hit 245 with 10 bombs and good
Yeah.
defense. That's all you want out of a
Yeah,
catcher.
that's decent.
Yeah, that's all they signed up
I
for.
heard Yasmani Grandal's available.
So, yeah. No one's going to sign him. No one's
Oh
going to sign
yeah,
him
and also
for zero speed as well.
two
If
things you
anyone-
never
if
see.
anyone knows, if
The
anyone
two
knows,
words you
yes.
thought you'd never see in a sentence: Cubs and outbid, because that's what they did for Bregman. They outbid the
They
Red
did.
Sox.
they did.
Yeah, they added the deferrals. I couldn't believe it.
But I don't like that we get rid of
Owen Casey.
And that's a tough one.
That
Again,
is tough.
That-
You
I mean,
gotta swallow it.
But you
okay.
also got to think. You
To be
have to-
fair, you could have been like what the Rangers did with Mackenzie Gore. They traded 5 top prospects.
They did, didn't they, for one player?
You got to think about this too. In my honest opinion, the Marlins really can't develop talent as well as some other teams can. So that is your only really hope. Is the hope that the Marlins somehow screw him up
Yeah.
in terms of their development.
Yeah.
You'd have to hope that.
Well, lately
that-
they've been developing
that-
players, haven't
well,
they?
that- well, no, not really.
Kind
Oh.
of hit and miss.
They had a decent year last year for their standards, but
Decent.
for and what they had on the team. But I mean, just look at it. No real big impactful guys you think of.
No.
Xavier Edwards is a nice contact
I mean,
guy, but
it's it's a pill you got to swallow, because the only way the Cubs weren't going to do both. As much as people think the Cubs have they do have a lot of money, but as much as the fans think the Cubs are going to be able to do both, they weren't going to. They can't sign a big player. They can't trade for a big player. It's one or the other. So as soon as they signed Bregman, they weren't going to sign another elite pitcher out there in the free agent market. So they had to go trade for a guy like a Cabrera because he's cheap, and that's just what it is.
Yeah, it could have been worse. Could have done what, like I said, the Rangers did with Mackenzie Gore. Traded 5 top prospects for one guy.
If anything, you just made the Nationals better.
Apparently they also
Yeah, that you have. They already have a good prospect system. Now you get 5.
Apparently they also last trade deadline they were asking for Casey as well as Jackson Wiggins
And Biceros.
I know we can't.
Yeah,
give
and
Jackson.
they were asking for the top 4 prospects for the Cubs, and there's no way the Cubs were going to do that.
Yeah, that also brings up a good point. Jackson Wiggins, are the Cubs' top pitching prospect at the moment. He could also crack the rotation this season at some point.
Well, they haven't even called him up for preseason.
Yeah, he could just be like what Cade Horton did. They called him up last year,
Yeah,
September.
but they will. He'll get a call up this year.
Yeah.
Start.
Yeah. The only thing about Cabrera I gotta say is that just being a enormous baseball fan, arguably more than I am a football fan, I like looking at these guys and their pitch mixes, like what they're good at, what they're not good at, what's gonna screw them over if they ever go down the drain. With Cabrera, there's not an obvious weakness there. He's got 5 pitches. Only one of them gets hit more than 210, and it's pretty egregious. His splitter gets hit 300 batting average. But other than that, all of his pitches break. He doesn't have a fly ball problem. He gets Ks. He's not going to walk a ton.
It's injuries.
It's injuries.
It's injuries.
And that's exactly it. If he's healthy, he can end this season as your 1. Easily.
He could.
Yeah.
But he's
is an
so
issue.
banged up.
That is
That is an issue.
If.
That is an
That's
issue.
the only
Big
the only big if with Cabrera is that how many innings is he going to pitch?
Oh yeah.
That is an issue.
It's either you take the risk or you just don't take it at all. And they tried for Luzardo before, but his medicals failed, so they didn't trust the medicals. So go get Cabrera, and again, very good offseason in my opinion. So.
I was gonna ask, what do you think about PCA? What do you think he's gonna do this?
PCA.
PCA, Pico Armstrong.
I have
Well,
some takes on this.
I think he's still going to be the best center fielder, defender. Hitter is another question.
Yeah.
If he went more for contact more than he does power, I think he could crack being the best all around center fielder. Because right now I think the best all around center fielder is Julio Rodriguez. But
Good take.
I think if he just sticks, stop trying to swing for the fences all the time, settle down and go for contact more, he could be the best center
Just go
fielder.
for base
One of the
hits.
best center fielders in baseball.
Look, I'm not a big PCA guy. I think he's going to be good. I just think last season was his first half. I think really he was good.
Yes.
Second half he did struggle. I think most of that Cubs team's second half they struggled. But
As usual.
But I look, he has a lot of routine mistakes, like when there's flyouts and he just drops them. It's okay. But again, I think as he was a rookie last year, so I expect, him to improve on that. I think he is. I think he's going to show in the next 2-3 years that he is probably one of the best center fielders. I just don't think he's there yet.
Mm-hmm.
And I think a lot of Cubs fans are acting like he was there last year, and I disagree heavily. And that's the only reason I'm not as high on him as some
Because
other
he was
people.
he's flying all over the diamond, and what he was doing with the bat, that's why.
Yeah, and I get that. I'm not saying I don't get that, but I also looked at it as people saying he was the MVP, and I'm like, whoa, okay,
No.
slow
Well,
down.
he was. He still
Slow
was
it
right
down.
there.
Where
I wasn't saying that. He was right
Where I
there.
stand on PCA is just he struggled
it's
early
just-
on in his career,
it's
but
too-
that first half of the season, he was. You could make an argument that he could be the MVP with the way he was playing,
I just
right?
don't think so. I think he had a good, but not MVP level guy. I mean, over Shohei Ohtani. I mean,
No one's gonna
he wasn't hitting better than Ohtani. He wasn't
No,
stealing bases better than
But
Ohtani.
he was
stealing
projected.
bases
He was.
pretty well.
They said people were projecting he was going to hit 50 home runs with
And
the hot start he
did
had.
not.
Well,
I don't even think he came close.
if he was playing Miles Michaelis every single game, he would have.
I don't think he even came close to that.
At the
number.
All-Star break, they projected him to go 40-40.
And he did not.
He didn't.
Well, the thing with him is that he is always going to swing for the fences. Pete Armstrong's
Which
been
is the
doing that
problem.
forever. He had one of the highest swing rates
Yes.
in like AAA, like for a few years in its history for a while.
Favorite
Yeah.
player,
Like,
Javi Baez.
He just
That
he just-
explains a lot.
He absolutely swings for the fences for a home run every time, and he goes up to the majors. He's going to hit home runs, and he's going to hit for a good average those first 3 months. But when pitchers figure out that he can't really trace a breaking ball when he's swinging
Yes,
for
that's
those
when he started to
fences,
struggle.
Yeah.
he's going to hit 190 again.
Like
Yeah.
they stopped throwing him fastballs. And they
It's
started
all
throwing him
about
breaking
those
balls.
adjustments.
and that's why I think he's going to make those adjustments, but
It's-
it's not going to be instant.
It's 2 words. It's eye discipline.
Yeah,
Okay.
exactly right.
He can be a perennial all-star because he obviously has a good baseline to build off of because he has elite speed, and he is the best center fielder defensively in baseball. No matter what you think about his routine plays, he is. Okay, so he'll always be at least a valuable, like, 3-WAR player just based off that. But if he wants to be like a 7, 8, 9-WAR player, he's going to need to, again, work on his eye discipline. Know where the zone is, man. Like, it's almost like an MLB The Show where you're swinging for the fences. You don't really know what you're doing. Then you, like, start playing the game a little bit more, start being a little bit more controlled, and then you start hitting a little better. That's just all it is. I'm sure the Cubs had him working on it, and I'm pretty sure he was working on it as well. And also, he's turning into Caleb Williams' best friend, I guess, because they're going everywhere in
Yeah.
Chicago.
Yeah.
So
At the
Hey.
Bulls game.
Which I will say this: it is nice to see Chicago being so interlinked. Bulls fans with Blackhawks fans with Cubs or White Sox, whatever. Well, maybe not White. White Sox are kind of getting thrown to the wolves here, but every other basically major team: Bears, Cubs, White Sox, Bears, Cubs, Bulls, and Bears all being connected, which
It's
is
like
nice.
back in the day when you saw Jordan and Thomas
Yeah.
in the nightclubs
Yeah.
together.
And Chris
stuff.
Chelios to hockey extent.
Yeah.
It's nice. It's nice to see that.
Exactly. Yeah. It's good for the city. It's good for the culture.
Mm-hmm.
It's good for the sport.
As
honestly.
much as I don't like the Cubs, it is nice to see Caleb and PCA to just really just become friends and stuff like that.
maybe Murakami can be the guy that's out there.
I'm
Maybe.
also still
I
saying,
don't know.
I'm
Maybe.
still saying
Murakami
Montgomery. Just
and
saying,
Seiya.
Montgomery is right there for the
He's got-
taking.
He's got to be like obviously be open to it, but again,
Yeah.
him and
it would
Montas.
be great if someone.
Caleb and
like
Montas have
that.
a pretty good
So,
relationship.
I'm just saying.
I wouldn't say it's as good PCA, but
That is true.
Well, that's all I got for y'all.
That's all you got.
Yeah, that's all I got.
I mean, we could talk.
I mean, it's
about,
been
like,
2 hours.
I mean, like,
true.
well, what else do you want to talk about?
I mean,
Like, how are you?
I'm good.
I'm great.
been?
I'm
Thanks for
great.
asking.
Thank
Yeah.
you. I am great.
Yeah.
I can't wait to edit all of this.
Go Broncos.
It's gonna be great. Yeah.
Well, I mean, you don't got to do too much editing.
Just yapping.
Broncos country.
That was not a vote of confidence. Like, hey, Jalen, how was the podcast? Well, I've
Oh,
been editing for 4
yeah.
hours.
I don't want to overlook this either. But the Pope
In Chicago.
from Chicago saved the city, and he was doing his like devil magic, whatever it is. Definitely put the W back in the Windy City because
did.
it was like Cubs made the playoffs, Bears made the playoffs, White Sox are making moves, Cubs were making moves. Just saying, this is one of the better, like over the past year in terms of like Chicago as a whole. Just one of the better seasons, better years I've remembered because they don't have obviously had a whole lot of winning.
And then there's the Bulls.
And then there's the Bulls. I can't.
Well, the
I can't help.
Bulls-
No one can help the Bulls.
The Bulls are like teetering
Well,
around.
apparently they want to start selling pieces, which is good.
There's-
Okay.
I'm hearing rumors that they're
so
trying to
long.
get Zion Williamson.
No.
Oh,
please
my
no.
goodness.
They
Please.
can get them for cheap. If they get them for cheap, then it's whatever. But I heard they want to sell their pieces off, which is about
Dumb.
about time.
Well, not dumb. The pieces they want to sell off Vooch.
Yeah,
Oh,
those
honestly,
guys.
honestly, the Bulls.
Just saying. Just
The
saying.
Bulls should have been sellers 2 years ago when they had Alex Caruso. Do you know there's teams out there that wanted 3 or 4 first-round picks?
Yes.
But ownership decided, let's just reject this trade and try to go for the playoffs.
Yeah,
Well, all you
play-in,
did was
the
just go to
play-in.
the play-in tournament. The
Yeah.
play-in
Actually,
tournament.
Let's play hardball, and then you lose immediately
the-
to the Heat.
The owner didn't want to go to the playoffs. He actually wanted to go to the play-in.
Yeah, it's just a chance at making the playoffs.
Which
Duh.
is so stupid. I hate the plan with a
Yeah.
passion just
I
because
hate
the Bulls
the
on it
Bulls.
every year.
It doesn't even matter. It
doesn't.
doesn't. Because
Before
like
you say the Heat, they were technically already a 7 seed before that, so they would have made the playoffs in a normal fashion anyway, and probably still would have made it.
I mean, they did. They
Yeah.
did go to the finals.
Yeah,
like,
and they would have been a 7 seed instead of an 8. That's the only difference.
yeah, but I mean, think of it like this: because like in the play-in, it's just one and done. So
Yeah, so
like
dumb.
you could get lucky. Like you can be a 9th seed and get lucky and get
And make
too
it-
good, and
yeah.
then make it
As the
and
8th
make
seed.
yeah,
You get obliterated in the
And then
first round.
lose in the first round.
yeah,
To the Cavs.
exactly.
Technically, hypothetically from last year, but now you like lose to the
That would be
Knicks or
the
something, or the
Pistons.
Pistons.
Most likely Pistons. Pistons
Yeah,
are good.
like Pistons are a good example of I mean they screwed up a lot in the 15 years
Yes.
to get here, but like the last 5 years, okay,
Super solid.
last 5 years, we're patient, got a bunch of young players, and now look at them, they're the top of the East, and it's the Eastern Conference, okay.
Very
This is
weak.
not the West, okay.
Very weak.
It's very much not the West, okay.
Mm-hmm.
So you can go on a rebuild for 4 years. It doesn't hurt that much. You can get a couple exciting young players, and then you just build around those guys. You're right there. That's all it takes. That's all it takes, man.
Yeah.
Yep. That's pretty much all I got for y'all. All right. Well, that has been another episode of Windy City Weekly. I'm your host, Jalen Ferguson and Grant Godwin. You can follow us on Windy City_weekly on Instagram, or you can follow me at Jalen_2K5 and Grant Godwin at GGGod.
GGod24.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that'll do it. And you can also follow Chase on MySpace.
Yeah, we were. I'm all over AOL. Yeah, you gotta. Yeah, we were the guests. We were Chase Albers, Zachary and Hunter Kendall, and Gage Rada. That was us.
Great
Yeah.
podcast to start off the year of 2026.
Great
Yeah.
job.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah, so
Had a
let's
great
stay
time.
consistent. And we'll see you, if not next week, in 2 weeks.